doing this with a cat right there. She's like, no, you got to pay attention to me. You got to not pay attention to the live stream.
Yeah, don't pay attention to the live stream or the apples.
Yeah. Anyway, good evening.
Yes.
From us at Childreofprimus.
And good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello, Mr. X. I like the profile look at you that we started with. Very sort of Alfred Hitchcock Presents-esque.
Yep.
I get my screens moved around here. There we go. No way I can look at you.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Oh, not too bad. Yourself, gentlemen? This mic up out of the way.
You know, doing better now. Had a eventful last few days where kind of slowly recovering from being sick, and then I think Wednesday or Thursday my phone just decided to stop working. Got it checked out, and the guy was like, no, the battery's fine. The phone itself stopped working, and then he tried to tell me it was water damage. Like, don't use that excuse with me. So I just replaced it this morning.
I'm ready for the Canadian winter. I got my tires changed. I got my oil changed. I'm like,
Nice.
bring it.
No, we had a snowstorm here whenever I went to Indy to get the autographs. And hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Thank you. How you guys doing?
And it's just been cold now, so
That's how we're doing.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, just trying to avoid the cold as much as possible.
Yeah. Before I do anything else, let me just say shout out to this guy that came in this week for being probably my favorite thing to come out this year. Just for taking Generation 1 Hot Rod and just going nuts and making it as animation accurate as they possibly could with the colors.
Nice.
Like, I knew it was pink. I say this as I'm eating apples, just for emphasis. I knew it was pink, but it's not just animation pink. They completely changed the color scheme to make it as accurate to the character model as they possibly could, and that's what makes it exceptional.
which one is that one?
This is the retro collection one, which just came out. It's like a Walmart exclusive.
Oh, okay.
It's a reissue in cartoon colors, which they've never done before. So it's like purpley pink, and the paint job's completely changed. No stickers. It's all deco. It's just how G1 Hot Rod was probably supposed to look, because the prototype was going to be pink. And yeah, I'm just over the moon with that.
I mean, the Hot Rod 12 was always one of my favorite toys.
Oh yeah. Like I said, it holds up. It's pleasantly chunky and bricky, and it's really fun to transform. Mm-hmm. And I'll be talking about this tomorrow, because I broke out the camera and did the write up as soon as I got it earlier this week, which is a record for me when it comes to just sort of hammering out one of my write ups and reviews and photo galleries. So
Nice.
See my thoughts later on.
Did you get the
So is that
Starscream
where
as
we're at?
well?
Are we showing off what came in?
I guess. And
You
yeah,
gotta
the
remember,
Starscreams.
I ain't been here for 3 weeks, so I've got a stack.
And to answer your question, yeah, I do have the Starscream on order. He's not out yet, but he'll be in eventually.
Cool. I got both of them on pre-order, but have yet to hear anything.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Never owned a G1 Starscream before, so that'll be a new thing for me.
I did a long time ago.
Yeah.
Let's just say it didn't make it.
Oh no.
Well, say it did. It had a long career.
Yeah. Be careful with the feet.
Ooh, that's a very classic Metroplex.
Ooh,
Oh,
That's
wow.
the G1.
beautiful.
It's the rubber tire version.
Nice.
I got him for a steal on eBay for $25 because nobody else bid on it.
$25.
$25 he had $15 shipping, so I got him for $40.
Wow.
Is everything? It looks complete at a glance. Like,
He's missing one gun off a scamper.
Oh, that's that's nothing.
yeah. Considering the condition of everything else, I'm like, that's a steal.
Wow, and then six gun is complete.
Yeah, it looks complete.
6 gun is complete, and it's got brand new Toy Hack stickers on it.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's how you do
That's
it.
why like all the detail appears.
Yeah, just Toy Hacks is the best when it comes to restoring these things.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So that was box number 1. This actually came like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
I'll sell you the gun for $50.
That's where the real money is, breaking up the accessories and selling them to the people that don't have them.
All right.
Oh, I found a Predacon at the Gimme 5 store.
And
I don't
Professor
remember
D,
which one it was. Let me
Professor
find it.
D's saying on YouTube, G1 Hot Rod is cool, but Scourge is better. I traded my Hot Rod for Scourge in '86 prior to the film because I knew after the film I would only need Rodimus anyway. Hey, if they ever reissued Scourge, I'd probably get one for myself. I just got Hot Rod because they were my favorite. But
It was Scorpionox. The Beast Wars Scorpionox. I found him at Gimme 5 store.
oh yeah, which one?
Okay. So
Oh, well.
Gold Bug, yes. Love the tooling, and it's a good set of colors.
Well, Professor D on YouTube says great Metroplex bill.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So if I was going to get anything else Shattered Glass that wasn't Flame War, it'd probably be that, just because I like the powered convoy colors. Oh yeah, and there's the extremely Marvel.
I found him at a trade show in Evansville because I missed out on him.
There's Blaster. Oh, he pretty much got the whole set in one go, eh?
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's Blur.
I already had Jetfire and Starscream. And here's the 1980s is what I like to call him.
Yeah.
With that headband.
I feel like Soundwave's going to be the one that most people are after because he's got the headband, it's the Netflix version, and he's got the 2 cassettes. That's a great set.
And then this one's not Shattered Glass, but it came with them.
Oh, nice. Yeah. When that hits locally, I'll probably pick that up. I've heard great things about that version of Ironhide. Yeah.
But that's it. But I am going to be doing an opening while we're talking.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
I got something else. It's not Transformers, but it is kind of related anyway. It's the Voltron Galaxy Defender from Netflix.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a huge set, and I finally found the box that they were in. So they're going to get open tonight. So here's the Black Lion. Let me do this. You can see the size. This thing is monstrous.
Jeez. I might. I was gonna say I might, if I have time. I might. Oh yeah, let's see.
There is the rest of the lions down there on the floor. There's not enough light for her to see them. Yeah, I'm going to be opening them and shredding the boxes that they come in, which makes a lot of people go crazy, and I love it. So,
yeah,
it's an interesting coincidence.
Oh yes, I'm shredding boxes today, baby.
Oh, Charlie, what did you have there for?
It's an empty box.
Just for emphasis.
Well, I'm going to say interesting the build that you mentioned, the Voltron. And I guess within the handful that we have here, who remembers the third Voltron?
The one with the 3 robots where it has 6 arms when it combines?
I believe so. Because funny enough, one of my friends, just earlier today, we were just talking about a bunch of stuff, and he goes, how come nobody ever remembers the third Voltron? I'm like, I barely remember it, but I do know it exists. But there's always been the focus on the 5 lines and the vehicles, and like the third one's just almost completely forgotten about.
Wow. Yeah, I
think
have both of those sitting over there in that bucket.
Here's my question. So, does anybody remember Stealth Voltron?
No.
Probably
black
not,
one?
right? Because remember, like I said, I grew up. There was a CGI animated Voltron in the '90s called Voltron: The Third Dimension.
Right.
And so they had the regular Voltron on that show. Like they didn't change the design at all. It was still like the same. And then like late in the show, they got a power up form called Stealth Voltron that was a whole new design. I just found some pictures. I'm just gonna get out there. It's a little bit
Interesting.
goofy looking. Share screen. Window. Yeah, there we go. So there's the 5 Stealth Voltron Lions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're kind of swoopy in black, and they have their main colors as their secondary color. And there's an image of their combined form. Yeah, it's kind of a weird looking take on him. But like I said, they did do regular Voltron too. This was like a late show thing, so it's just kind of interesting.
Okay. And actually, what the...
Yeah, they would just be like, let's turn into stealth mode, and the regular Lions would just like shimmer into this version.
Interesting.
Yeah, Third Dimension was a weird show.
Yeah, because I think from the concept, there was, I mean, out of the 2 Voltrons, there's like, Defender of the Universe, there was like the local Voltron, one that's a bit further away, and then I believe the storyline was the 3rd Voltron was in a far distant galaxy, so that's why there's like hardly any reference of that one.
Was it like Robo? I don't know. Was it like Robotech, where it was actually just a whole different show, and they were just pretending it was part of the same universe when they dubbed it into English?
I'm not sure, because I think that like the very first episode mentions all 3 of them, and then they just somehow forgot that 3rd one. And considering that between the lines and the vehicles, there was Chip and I can't remember if it was his twin brother or his cousin, but the guy who was the Green Lion, he had a relative in the vehicles.
Yeah, it sounds like the kind of thing that would be like a different show that they're pretending is part of the same thing, but because that's what they did back then. But who knows? Maybe it was just that wacky in the Japanese version.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, maybe I'll open this later if I have
rubber
time.
bands on this damn thing.
Yeah, just want to quickly show.
Nope, there's still something around his head somewhere.
Wanted to quickly show this off. Season 3 Transmetal 2 Megatron. I did not think I was getting this yet. I was like, I'm not buying any robots till the new year after that. And then GameStop called me and was like, hey, your pre-order came in. And I was like, pre-order? ? And they were like, yeah, for Transmetal 2 Megatron. It's like, okay, I guess I'm getting this now. So apparently I pre-ordered it without realizing.
Wow.
And then I remembered Inferno, which is the other guy I was really after, because he's the last of the Season 1 Beast Wars guys. I wasn't able to pre-order him because his pre-orders sold through like immediately. So I think I forgot I put this guy on order instead because the other guy was gone. So got to look for Inferno in the new year. Got this guy now. And I'm almost like I leapfrogged because Inferno is the last of the Season 1 guys. And then this is the first of like the next batch of them. So I'm just like, oh, I skipped ahead accidentally. This is the firstest of first world problems, so.
Yeah. I almost had him today, and Target played that stupid game with me again today. You won't guess what the excuse was now.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's on the truck. I can't get it for you at this moment. You got to come back the next business day. They have them in stock. They won't sell it to you.
Wow.
What is it?
The Transmetal 2 Megatron.
Anthony, open that Megatron and compare him to T-Rex Meg, says Professor D. I'll do that a little bit later on. I don't want to steal too much thunder from watching Mr. Magnus slowly unbox all those Voltron lions. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that minifigure.
There's the little shuttle that they go flying into the robots or into the lions.
Does it come with a little?
Wow.
Yeah. Does it come with a little guy, or is it just the shuttle?
No, you can see. I don't know if I can get it in this camera.
Yeah.
But there is a little guy sitting in it.
Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, I
Now,
remember those
ain't
go
it-
down the tubes.
Now, is that Voltron? Would that be considered like that Voltron you have there? Would that be considered an official version or a third party?
Well, this is DreamWorks, who is the producer of the Defender of the Universe.
Okay,
So I
it's
would say
official.
that this is an official.
Mhm.
okay. I just
Yeah, these actually have the DreamWorks tags on the boxes.
oh, that's cool. Because the fact that they included the little jet that they would go from the castle into the line, that's like a detail that sometimes only third party companies would
Hey,
focus on.
Calvin,
Hmm.
we're screwed up.
No!
The value.
The value
You
is
put tape on
mine.
it.
I just
No,
remember
not when I'm done with them.
there-
Yeah,
there's this really
I guess.
there's this very old Vangelis review where he reviewed a reissue G1 Megatron.
I think Calvin's in
from-
shock.
Yeah.
Breathe, Calvin. Do you smell toast? Are you having a stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up. I don't know. It's just been a weird week for me, dude. Like, I like some odd reason I'm getting everything is in doubles. Yeah, I got 2 iron hides,
Oh,
which got 2 of those.
Dang
And
it,
who- Yeah. So who to say I might have 2 Megatrons might be coming? Who knows?
So who did you order through, and like, is it Walmart or?
I went through Amazon, and then I didn't know I had one on pre-order for Hasbro, and that got sent. It got
Wow.
sent to me. Yeah.
Yeah. What are we looking at? Oh, that's the 3 Voltrons.
yeah. So this is the third Voltron. That's kind of unaccounted for.
Yeah. See, I thought that was like a bootleg reflector at first because of the shapes. Like the second I saw them, I thought it was like a crazy colored version of it.
The
Yeah.
sound wave over on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
but
seeing that.
I'm not familiar
Yeah.
with those. Yeah.
Actually, let me.
Can I tell you, the one for the black lion is real hard, but the one for the yellow lion is real soft. And it's like got
Mecha
more color.
Shiva.
All right, somebody just need to flick it, knock it over. Yeah, I see why I did that. Didn't it? As the 6 arms. What the fuck, man? What the hell was that?
Imagine trying to box that.
That's like nightmare fuel, man.
Nice. So we're on the yellow one there. Those are big looking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be like, I think it says like 16, 18-inch forms this 18-inch Voltron,
Wow.
and this thing's got a little. It shoots discs.
Oh,
Oh
How much
wow.
did you pay for
All
those?
the way across the room, so that's pretty good spring. 15 feet to the other wall.
I like that it can combine, and they still found room for gimmicks like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a chance to get those. My local toy store had them. I just passed up on them.
And then now you're reconsidering.
No, I want the real deal Holyfield.
The Blitzway. I think it's Blitzway Voltron. That one's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, actually, let's jump into some news maybe before we get to the main topic. Let's see what
Which I'm avoiding talking about because I was like, oh my god.
I don't want to talk about it because it's gonna be too good to be true next year. One of my favorite characters is coming out.
10-ounce silver Megatron coin. Who is this for?
I am done. I'm done.
I want to meet somebody that purchases this, and I want to interview them and talk about why.
I have a feeling you already have someone within the group here that's going to purchase it, and you're going to interview them.
What is it?
A 10-ounce silver Megatron coin.
Is this released in the States or is it? I thought it was only in England or something.
They did stamps in England. It does feel like an American thing, though.
Yeah.
It looks like a golden disc.
New Zealand.
Oh, it's in New Zealand.
Interesting.
I guess there's a lot of overlap in the New Zealand coin collecting fandom and the New Zealand Transformers fandom, question mark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. All I know about New Zealand is Lord of the Rings and Flight of the Conchords.
But my knowledge of New Zealand is a crowded house.
Wow. Out of control.
Oh, and the guy that plays Boba Fett's from there.
Oh, okay. Actually, many great actors are from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Calvin, when you said that you wanted the real deal Holyfield, is this the one that you're talking about?
Ooh.
Yep.
Nice.
Roll the 2001 A Space Odyssey theme.
Oh, yes, indeed, my friend. Yep, there it is in its final glory.
Yeah, I've had this one since I was a kid. My dad brought it home from one of his business trips for me.
Ah, okay.
And these, for those of y'all don't know, this thing's metal. This thing weighs about 4 pounds. It's heavy.
Yeah.
There's no worry about anything knocking over unless you do that. But yeah, everything locks.
Which I
And like each one of them has their own little set of gimmick weapons.
Hello, Primetime Stephen Joyce. We're unboxing a Voltron, apparently, just as we start to get into the news. Yeah. Toy Warp Vintage Reviews has identified it as the Matchbox version, which he would know about Matchbox, so I trust his opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Also done with lead paint.
Oh no!
No, don't lick it.
Yeah, don't lick it. Don't lick it, Bill.
Actually, I believe
I was
Professor
planning
D also
Yeah,
has
don't
the metal
ruin the rest of my
Voltron.
night now.
Yeah. Don't wash your hands when you're done handling it. Just the fact that it's like got lead paint, I'm like, that's how you know it's like a 70s toy.
Damn, that's crazy.
Okay, let's get into some more news.
Yeah. Transformers Rise video game switches developers to splash damage. Bro, I don't even know. When I see trailers and release dates, that's when I pay attention to this.
Well, let's see what they're saying.
Hearing
Flash
bits of info
damage.
about Transformers Rise, a video game being developed by Certain Affinity. Over time, it's become clear there was turmoil behind the scenes. There's a Transformer called Turmoil, so I'm imagining it's his fault.
Wow.
Some rumors suggesting it had been canceled, but reports may provide some renewed hope. Tom Henderson, who's regarded as a top gaming insight, posted an article suggesting the game may in fact still be in development, but was handed off to developer Splash Damage. I mean, okay.
Okay.
Whatever comes out, comes out. Hope it's on the Switch. Though I keep forgetting I have a PS5 too, so I'm like, if it comes out on one of those. Professor D says, correct, Spin. I still have my childhood Go Lion, complete with box and styrofoam, although it's beat up. Well, that's impressive. I don't have any packaging from my childhood. There was a point where I eventually threw out my drawer full of card backs from all my carded figures. So I didn't have that foresight, so kudos to you for managing to hang on to it.
Can you give me the screen again, Spin?
And he got the car one too. Oh, look at that right there.
Nice. Vehicle Voltron.
Na. I like the rotors on his shoulders.
The spinning laser blades.
Mm-hmm. Out of all the Voltrons, this is the one that looks the most like a Power Rangers Megazord. Something about the car feet and like the shape of the head.
It's
Leo
true.
Rangers.
Yeah,
And
this
I
was
want to
made
say
to be
that
played
this
by a
thing's
man in a
actually
suit.
Is this the same as what they call Dire Ruger?
Yeah. Dairuger was the Japanese name.
And for some reason, I have an extra green lion head.
All right, in case the other one ever goes missing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they fire off.
Yeah.
You push a button and the heads are spring loaded. They chew.
It would be
All right,
interesting
now,
if they had the foresight to include two of them, like how Lego sometimes throws extra pieces in the box because they know you're going to lose them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't remember as a kid having two. So I'm going to say right now, that came in a box of something else.
Oh, Transformers Magic Secret Layer sets revealed. Oh yeah, for Magic the Gathering. I'm not a Magic guy, so I don't know how they're taking this, but I know there's a lot of Transformers Magic cards now.
$1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to say that they did that to get me back, but I had just gotten out of Magic. Like, I sold my entire collection for $6,000, and the next month, my buddy says, "Bill, are you getting some of these Transformers Magic cards?" I went, "Somewhat."
Wow.
No, I'm not. So that's what you all can get me for Christmas. You can just open them up yourselves and send them to me.
Toy Warp, who is the Matchbox guy, is giving us some more context here. He's saying on YouTube, Vehicle Voltron, also Matchbox. The one previous and the lead paint led to the rights being taken from Matchbox and given to Panache. So that would be a good reason to revert the rights.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Professor D says, "Damn, I always wanted that Vehicle Voltron. Heavily considered getting the third-party Soul of Chokogan version, but it is too short for my taste." Soul of Chokogan isn't third-party if you mean unofficial stuff. I mean, it's licensed, like it's an official thing. Soul of Chokogan just gets the rights to do these. Yeah.
Nice.
They do like Megazords, they do Gundams, I think. They do like all the giant robots.
That's crazy.
I don't think they do any Transformers though.
It's interesting looking up the third Voltron. What I didn't remember is the Vehicle Voltrons had 3 separate teams within the vehicles.
Oh yeah, I can do that too. This will combine into their 3 little combat or command vehicles. So it's like a triple changer.
Now, was it like land, air, and water teams?
Land, sea, and air.
Okay.
So there's the Blue Lion, and he's got the big freeze cannon on top of it.
Oh, nice. I like that. It's a very science fiction railgun.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the right kind of thing where a ball of energy shoots out.
For it.
Yeah. Nice. Transformers Cost Cup by Numbskull Designs. What is a Cost Cup? I know. Maybe they mean like cosplay, like it's a cup in costume.
What the French?
I guess. Yeah. Man, all these weird things. I just want to say that Optimus Prime looks like he does not want to be there. If you can go back up to the picture.
That's good. Yeah, neither does Megatron.
Well, Megatron looks actually resentful. Optimus is just like...
Yeah, both of them are just like, nope. Take back the licensing. We're done.
Bumblebee's putting on a brave face. See, this is what actual third-party stuff looks like because this is licensed things. So this is
Man, whoever gets those, they need to be pushed down a flight of stairs.
I just got them.
What is it? 400 milliliters. Oh yeah, original cups cosplaying as Megatron, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee. That's why they call them cos cups.
So the cups are cosplaying.
Oh.
What a strange high concept thing. Man. 1527. I mean, that's the kind of thing that one of my friends would give me, and I would be happy as a gift. I would not buy it myself.
Exactly.
I was like, "You're a Transformers guy. I have this big mug with Optimus Prime on it." I'd be like, "All right."
Yeah, and it'd be cool as a gift.
Yeah.
You put it in the microwave and watch it melt.
Like Legacy Wave 3 Voyagers out at UK retail. They're out at Canadian retail too, I think, because just because I got my big Megatron here, and Inferno dropped in the same wave, so I'm presuming he's out there in the wild.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're showing him right there. That's the last one. That's the last guy in the season 1 cast, and then they've done everyone. Yo, what's up, Devin DeRoche on YouTube? But yeah, last one. Then my season 1 cast is complete, which I can't even show that shelf right now because a bunch of the figures are down here from when I was taking photos. But yeah, the weird thing about the Beast Wars cartoon was they really tried to make the factions equal even when it was a small group of guys. So by the end of the season, 7 Maximals, 7 Predacons, and 14 total. So this guy's number 14. So they've done the whole thing.
Now, I will be funding that. Yes, indeed. You see that right there?
Yeah. Oh, and now he's been funded, eh? It said shipping dates have been announced for Victory Saber also.
Let's see.
Yeah, I should be getting mine here in a couple of days.
So they haven't shown us the answer yet. I mean, I wonder if it'll be in before Christmas.
That's next year. That's next year around the holidays.
Yeah, probably early next year. I'm talking about Victory Saber. Like I know some people
this month.
Oh yeah, it'd be great if it could be in before Christmas. I know some people in Asia got theirs already, but that's because they're in Asia, right next to the factories. So.
Wow.
I call excellent bullshit.
Yeah, there's a few like galleries and stuff already, and a couple of video reviews.
Speaking of.
Yeah, Deathsaurus live. Oh yeah, so there is one interesting thing from this live stream. If you're like me and you didn't get Deathsaurus, this was just like Mark and Evan, the 2 designers, just being like, here's this prototype physically. Look at him in the video. They talked a little bit about there is going to be another HasLab project. They're not saying when or what. All they said is it's not going to be a 3rd Victory guy. It's going to be something to do with the 40th anniversary, and that's all they said. Yeah. So.
I already know.
Oh, what do you think?
Triptychon.
They already did a Triptychon.
There's a different one. No. See? You gotta keep your eyes open. Because there was the one Triptychon G1, then that's another version of him that came out. And they all had to beat this dude.
Yeah. Devin DeRoche is quickly asking an interesting question. Do y'all think G1 Megatron is going to be in the Rise of the Beasts, even as a cameo? Yes. I'm going to go with no. I don't think he will be. I might be wrong.
I would say yes.
Well, there's sort of this thing. They haven't committed to it being a reboot, even though it clearly is. Like in the previous movie, the Cybertron scene at the beginning, Travis Knight said there was one version of that scene on paper where Megatron was supposed to show up specifically and wreck everybody instead of just the 3 guys that did show up. And they told him they couldn't put him in because he might be frozen on Earth still. So they don't want to commit to calling it a reboot yet. So I don't think he's going to appear because
that's favorite stuff. That's a soft reboot.
I know. They're keeping it ambiguous, which bugs me because I'm like, it's obviously a restart. Oh, look at that. Hey, the assault vehicles. I love how those just look like Transformers G1 cars. Those could be like battle chargers or throttle bots or something. Just those 2 big ones. I love it. It's like a whole miniature army. So many. How many vehicles is that total? Is it more than 14? Oh, we can't hear you, Mr. Magnus. You're on mute.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
There you go.
Okay, we got you. What's up?
It's free to the land team, which is the first one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're not coming through too clear.
C-team.
Oh, yeah, there we go. You're back. Land
and
team,
then the
C-team.
air team in the back. And now each one of these teams also combines again into a land battle cruiser, a sea battle cruiser, and an air battle cruiser, and then they also form Voltron. So the next one I'll do is where they're together as their empowered group.
Nice. All right. I asked if there was 14 because I remember Diaclone did Multiforce 14, and I wanted to see if Vehicle Voltron had them beat.
15. They have 15.
Oh, there you go.
Each
They
team is
beat out Diaclone. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, more news. Oh yeah, why it makes no difference if the upcoming Transformers film is a reboot or not. What do they have to say about that?
Let's see.
There's been a very tiring argument for years as to whether or not the new live-action films are part of the same universe. But in reality, that argument is pointless since Bay is still involved no matter what. The designs still feature aesthetics from the Bay era, and this would not be the first soft reboot anyway. Oh, it's a whole article. All right, so first of all, he's a producer now, the same way Spielberg was a producer on the Bay movies. So, it's questionable how much he's realistically involved in it, because it's not being written or directed by him.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, do you know his backstory?
Who's Michael Bay's backstory?
No, that guy that's right there, that's in front of you.
What, Bumblebee?
Not Bumblebee. I say the guy is right there in front. That producer that's right there.
Stephen Cable Jr., the director.
Yeah. Do you know anything about him?
He did Creed 2, which was a really good movie, which is why I was like, all right, solid track record.
He's a huge fan of G1 Transformers.
Yeah.
A huge fan. And I think he's a collector too. And he was saying like the form that he wanted to use is like the G1. Also, then he decided to do the Rise of the Beast, which is the maximals predacons. He said he's a huge fan and he collects these figures. And that's why I'm kind of on board with this guy because I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Anthony Ramos, who plays the lead in the movie, he said in an interview he grew up on Beast Wars and his favorite character was Cheetor. So I'm like, who's in the movie? So I'm like, okay, so we got people here that are like fans making this. So,
which is good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. But yeah, well, what happened was Bumblebee was supposed to be a Bayverse prequel, and then they changed a bunch of stuff after Last Night flopped. So that it didn't really fit anymore and was a standalone thing. And they've never really committed really hard to calling it a reboot. At one point, they called it a new storytelling universe, whatever that means.
Right.
Yeah. And this is a direct Bumblebee follow-up, and it's set in 1994. That's the year it takes place in. So it's technically still a prequel, quote-unquote, even though they're still probably not acknowledging the Bay stuff. Yeah. Justice Bontemps taps to compose the music. I'm not familiar with his work. Oh, sorry, John Nick Bontemps. What else did he do? 4400, Wedding Season, My Name is Paul Murray, United Skates. He also worked with Stephen Cable Jr. on The Land and Creed 2. All right, so it's his production posse, so that's always good.
Okay, cool.
It's funny because I'm like not interested in the instrumental stuff. I'm interested in the licensed music because they already played Juicy in the trailer. I'm like, I want some good early '90s needle drops in this, the same way Bumblebee had those good '80s needle drops.
Right.
Jess was a big fan of the Bumblebee album. She used to listen to it on the way to work, because of the soundtrack. And she specifically wants a follow up of '90s songs that she can listen to. So I'm like, I hope this movie brings that again.
Oh, cool!
Look at that. That looks like a science fiction space battleship. But it's got tanks.
And that's the one for underwater. That was submarine, and then this was the all-terrain vehicle.
The vehicle's funny because it's just two cars with the thing on it.
Yeah.
The duality of design.
Yep.
And the airship, I'm like, do you think it'll fly?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, tracks could fly.
Yeah, that's true. I question how the physics works.
It's only now people are questioning how did the physics work with him flying?
They're in space.
Call it anti-gravity.
Yep.
I like that panning shot. Look at that. Those are some good-looking redesigns.
And one last one.
Oh, before then it'll be time to yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
There we go. This was this week's review. The Mini Optimus that they released in Legacy. I said right at the top of this, I have like a primal urge to have Mini Optimus Primes. I don't know why. I just think they're specifically nifty. So I got this guy for my desk, and I compare him to a couple other Mini Optimuses they did, and
You gotta get the Dr. Wu set.
yeah. Well, I'm not talking about like expensive third-party ones. I just mean like the
Oh.
little ones they put out at retail. So yeah, I'm like, he's kind of interesting. I don't know if he's like kind of in the middle quality-wise. I don't know. I think I still like the old 2010 one better, but this guy's pretty nifty for what he is. He's also really specifically the Earthrise one scaled down. Like I did a comparison picture there. He has all the same sculpted details on him. Yeah. But yeah, you can read that on childreofprimus / news and reviews. I got the G2 Megatron to go with him. Eventually, I'll write about him too. I just wanted to talk about the Mini Optimus, and then the Hot Rod came, and I'm like, I got to talk about him. Like, I got him because I wanted him to fight my G2 Universe Megatron here, because he looked like that in Generation 2. So that's also a Generation 2 Optimus. Whereas Megatron got this gaudy repaint. Yes,
Get him,
that's
kitty,
right.
kitty, kitty,
Yeah.
get him, kitty, get him.
Good. She's like, look at all those people.
Yep, get him, kitty, kitty.
Yeah. But I'm sure I'll note it again at the end of the stream. But tomorrow I'll look at this vintage hot rod I was drooling over at the start of this, and at the end of the week I'll have my monthly non-robot thing, which is the last Spider-Man I'm going to do. I swear. This guy, the animated series Spider-Man from the 90s. They did a Walmart version of him.
Did you just pick him up? Or?
I have that one on my bookshelf downstairs. I love that one.
Yeah. I grew up on this show, so like I'm like, hey, it's the guy from the thing I know specifically, and they cell shaded him and everything.
I missed out on him, but I guess they just decided to release him again. And Walmart exclusive. My friend just found the last one yesterday.
It's a retool of the Amazing Fantasy one I already looked at, so I was like, that's why I'm going to get this, because I already know it's a good figure. So, to be fair, most Spider-Man look kind of the same. They gave him a new head, and they gave him the fact that they gave him a new head really impresses me. Gave him new shoulders, and they painted him up all nice. Yeah, and he's insanely bendable. So, yeah, fun thing to own, and I'll be looking at that on Friday. Got that all ready to go too. Yeah. So, as my cat continues to vie for my attention, are we ready to talk about that trailer yet? Which kind of came out of nowhere and dropped on me unexpectedly.
It's okay. Keep him.
Oh, look, hey, it's the Green Volt. It's the Green Lion, and he's got a missile launcher. Look out, he's got a rocket. Yeah. So I had rumors that the trailer was going to drop December 1st, but nobody said anything official, so I didn't pay attention to it. And I'm just at work on December 1st, and somebody just drops it in a group chat, and I'm like, oh, I was not expecting to feel these emotions this early morning.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to say, I like that we're at the point now where they don't need to be coy about the robots. They're just immediately like, "Here's a giant talking gorilla. You're accustomed to this now, so we don't need to beat around the bush."
Right?
Yeah. Hopefully, we won't get dinged for this because, come on, we're doing advertising. This is an advertisement. Why would they not want us talking about it?
Well, I've actually done research in terms of how some are getting away with it. This time I've actually copied the video, so it's not playing directly from YouTube or any other official sources. But if you do it as either fair usage, or or in a sense saying that you're using it just for the purposes of like informational purposes, then you shouldn't get dinged, but it's still it's still a gray area in a sense.
Yeah. So I have a little thing on my phone that has all of the info we know so far about the story.
Okay.
So yeah, that is Mirage, not Jazz.
That's
Yeah.
Jazz.
Yeah. And he's with Anthony Ramos's character, whose name is Noah, and he is an ex-military electronics expert who lives with his family in Brooklyn. And so that's our lead, our human lead.
Okay.
And apparently he's going to be paired with Mirage instead of Bumblebee, which is different. And then, they had to do so they're going to go to Peru at some point. That's Peru. That's apparently the location shift later on.
Right. Let me just fast forward a bit.
And, there was a city shot of Brooklyn, which is where some of it's going to be set.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Apple. Well, that's New York. It's nearby. Yeah, and then we just, even if they ding you, Toy Warp says, the worst will happen is the revenue from your vid will go to Paramount.
Because they're begging for money.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, I heard. I don't have Paramount Plus. I don't plan to get it. I heard it's rough right now, so maybe they do need all the support they can get.
Oh wow!
Like the
Well,
app
it's
doesn't work
rough.
very well. There's not a lot of stuff on it
Damn.
outside of like Star
to
Trek
be-
and Halo.
Oh, that's crazy. But I mean, to be honest, it's like, anyone who had cable eventually canceled cable, shifted away from it, and it's like once you have internet, you just get Netflix and you're done. Then comes out Disney, then comes out like all these other services, and I'm like, well, you're almost paying the price of having cable again.
Yeah,
or
I said this before. I'm like, Netflix having a monopoly was probably not great, but at the same time, it was really convenient when it was just the one thing that had everything in existence on it.
Exactly. Or unless other ways where you can still access like all the shows without without going through the services, because it is a bit much to be paying like all these different prices just for like one or two shows essentially.
Yeah.
And that's why you get a Fire Stick, my friend. You hack it.
Shh.
We didn't. That was not said here.
Yeah.
It's called
Oh,
being.
there we go. Big robot gorilla out of nowhere, just straight up in the middle in clear lighting. They're like, we're accustomed to this. So, and he's voiced by Ron Perlman.
Yep.
And
Concubine Wars.
yeah, from
Which? Oh, I was gonna, oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
Ron Perlman voiced him in Power of the Primes, and so
Yep.
Hellboy is Optimus now.
Which people were saying like, how did Primal land in the water in front of these children and like they didn't get wet?
Yeah. So
Magic.
that is Bumblebee movie Optimus again, just like straight up. Oh yeah, that's and one
They
thing that I
changed his
thought
sun
was
visor.
yeah. Yeah, two things I thought was interesting about Optimus's design there is first of all he has the mouth plate again from the other movies, like we see it pull back and he talks with it, and second of all he doesn't have a handheld gun anymore. He has a morphing arm like in the previous films. But other than that, it's basically
interesting.
Yeah, but other than that, it is just like the Bumblebee design again. But, the upgrades make sense a little bit. And also, his vehicle modes changed a little bit in this one, so some of his vehicle parts are a bit different. But yeah, they basically just reuse his design, which I don't mind because I love that design. It's a good take on Optimus.
Yeah, I think the one part where they show him driving, and I'm like, that looks really close to how Optimus should look in his vehicle mode.
Yeah. They're just picking up what that put down.
I was reading somewhere that somebody said he looked less bulky because you don't see as much red around his abdomen.
Yeah,
I
he
guess.
has been repainted a little bit. Like it's not a direct steel. Like they have obviously revised him slightly. And yeah, he has less rat on him. And Professor D says the blast for a robot that big would blow those folks away. Yeah. And, put it back.
Put it back.
What the
There we
French toast?
Yeah. Interestingly, Optimus Primal is like, I'm not the threat. There's something worse out there, which will show up later in the trailer.
But that is true, Professor D.
Yeah.
If you put physics into it, like they would not be standing there.
Yeah. So that's presumably Noah and the lady lead, a woman called Elena, who's an artifact researcher. She shows up more in the trailer later, and I guess they're in Peru at this point because it's the woods again. So I guess they don't meet the Maximals till they get to Peru. Toy Warp Vintage Review says whatever beats the flames. I got mixed feelings. I out of all the Bayverse designs, I thought Optimus was the best looking one, but I do like this one better, so I'm not going to complain too much about that take. Yeah, I like that. They're like immediately like, yeah, let's not fight. Let's not do that thing. Let's work together. As I guess bad. Yeah, their reason is vehicle mode.
Yeah.
Missing his trailer, but I guess they didn't want to deal with it vanishing this time around. And I guess bad things are happening in Brooklyn. Oh, and there's another Bumblebee who's again a little bit different, but we pretty much it's Bumblebee again. He's also been a little redesigned, and there is Mirage, who is not Jazz, and apparently the version of this I heard is that he tries to steal that car and then it drives away with him in it as part of a story beat.
Mm.
That's what I took from it too.
Yeah.
The cop pulls up beside him and he's going, driving.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I remember that was a thing around the character that he might possibly be a car thief. So that's an interesting way to do this. Gets in, tries to steal it, car drives away with him. Yeah, they do that shot with the steering wheel Autobot logo every movie now. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the car chase. Professor D says, why is each of Prime's thighs damn near wider than his torso? Because thick thighs save lives, and Optimus Prime is all about saving lives.
Thick thighs save lives.
Get with the program.
That could just be taken in all 20 different directions.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to what you do with that is up to you. Now that I've put it out in the world.
Yeah, it's all about interpretation.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So there's the car chase where he's like, I'm not driving this. Yeah, and that very cool thing there where he transforms around him to change directions from backwards to forwards. That's a nice stunt. Yeah.
That is dope.
And just to reassure us that he's Mirage, he does holograms. So if they didn't get the vehicle mode right, they at least get the character function right. The reason he's not a Formula One car is because, first of all, that's a terrible disguise, and second of all, those things have no ground clearance because they can only run on flat racing tracks.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, many people forgot about Mirage's ability, even though it's it's Jazz's vehicle form. They forgot that it's that's all the abilities that Mirage does have.
Yeah.
Mirage disappeared, and Hound is the one with the other, he put up the other vehicles and stuff. Because didn't he do the fake robot to fight against Devastator?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the fake Stunticons.
Yeah. And RC agrees, as we will shortly see, says Professor D. Oh, yeah. I like that bit where he's just screaming over it. Just ramping, yeah. Oh, that is a lovely shot, by the way. Because you know why? Because Cheetor was the Bumblebee of Beast Wars. He was the yellow Kid Appeal character. So having that shot of them running and driving side by side is an excellent shout to their dual roles in the franchise.
But you know what? The amount of memes and jokes that have popped up in the last week last few days within the trailer, some people have taken the robot mode of Mirage and put Jazz's head on him, or done the opposite. And someone else did the same image and then added yellow line from Voltron in the image.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so two interesting things with this shot. First of all, Bumblebee, yeah, that's his new off-road equipped mode. So I guess for when they go to Peru or whatever, he's got to be able to go off-road. So he's got the tires and the lights and stuff. And Cheetor is very sort of Beast Machines-esque in that he's got like panels of like metal and stuff, metal and flesh together on him. Yeah, and Toy Warp is saying in the episode where the Autobots dressed up as the Stunticons, it was Mirage's holograms that disguised them. Yeah, they're both kind of hologram users, and the show kind of handled them in like different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Mirage's thing was usually invisibility.
It would be cool if at some point Hound and Mirage just went around pranking each other.
Like, who can do the best illusions?
Yep.
There's Air for a split second.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be voiced by Michelle Yao, who you might know from Everything Everywhere All at Once, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You know, she's been in a million things. Everybody knows her.
From Okay, yeah. Once we see her face.
Yeah. It's a crazy highway battle. Yeah, no, people have. Oh, that is Battle Trap back there, by the way. That truck. We've already seen pictures of his action figure. They've been leaked. So it's a new Decepticon. Yeah. Named after the Duocon, but he's a tow truck that changes into a robot.
It'd be nice if they kept it as the Duocon concept, with them splitting into the two vehicles.
Yeah, I don't think they did. If the action figure is to be taken into account, this is a name slap, unfortunately. Yeah. Also, oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so first of all, that VW bus, that's Wheeljack. That is his vehicle mode.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, I really like that RC design because they made her look like G1, but she has the wheel feet like Transformers Prime.
Yep.
And when they do a face close-up, she has the glasses she wore in the movie for a second. Yeah, you can see them right there.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a nice figure.
Yeah, so this is a great like amalgam of all of her designs. I was going to go light on the merchandise for this one, but if they make like a good studio series figure of this, I got to bite on it because it looks real nice.
Masterpiece. Yes. Yes.
And it's like a crazy stunt with her. Like, I think she dodges a missile that goes through Wheeljack because like that's the missile right there, and that's the van's interior.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but I out of all the design, I love the Beast Wars guys. So I'm like, they did good work on her design specifically. Yeah, that's like her Transformers Prime weapon there with like the gun hand like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that shout. Primal. But I forget what he said here. He's like something is coming again. I'm just portending doom. That's all he does in this trailer.
Yep.
Yeah, and now they're talking about him. We don't get a very clear look at him, but that is Scourge. And he's not supposed to be like Unicron Scourge. He's supposed to be Scourge, the Black Optimus repaint. Yeah. People have freeze-framed him, and his face is the Terrorcon logo, kind of like the Fallen.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? News just dropped. You know who's going to be doing his voice?
Me.
Unfortunately, that's not true.
The little short dude.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage is going to be voicing him.
A little short dude.
Yeah. Hey, if you watched him in anything, you know he's a great actor. So.
Yeah,
he's a great actor.
Yeah.
I just don't think he'd appreciate being called the little short dude.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. You gotta take criticism. You gotta have fun. Some people don't like
So
to do
this
that.
is them together.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry?
he put Voltron together. Let's pause the trailer and look at the fully assembled Voltron.
Oh, snap!
Nice.
You got to play the song in the background. You're missing one. There you go. There it is.
That'll give you
That is funny because I don't think a lot of people own a G1 Jetfire, so it's not like a terribly general scale photo.
Oh,
And just before just before you do the music, you have to do the Peter Cullen intro to the. It's like from days of futures past.
I don't
this
remember how
G1
it goes.
Jetfire is just my desk bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. I'm impressed with this.
That's a
The
nice
blog
looking
desk.
sword, though. I like that sword.
That's like a kitchen knife. Yeah.
Machete.
Yeah, that's a machete.
It's impressive size, and he got the wings. It looks like he got the elbows. Yeah, it's a cool looking.
And I like how the legs of the lions, the chest opens up and they fold up inside of it, so they're not there when he's in. So there's no lion leg folded up.
Oh,
like
nice.
there
That's
is on.
interesting.
Yeah, I like the engineering involved here and making them look person shaped.
Yeah.
Nice.
The regular ones just folded up on the sides. And these, the chest piece opens up. And they fold up inside of it.
Oh, cool. That's a good place to store them. I like this as sort of a a budget masterpiece, sort of based on how big he is.
Oh yeah, he's huge.
Huge and posable looking. How articulated is that?
Well, Devin from YouTube said he said me.
Yeah. There, you can do the squat nicely. Got the shoulders, got the elbows.
Got elbows, shoulders, head. The head doesn't turn side to side. It just looks forward. He does have ankles. He has ankles, knees, hip. Hip is two directions.
Okay.
They also pivot.
Has he got a waist, or is it solid? Looks solid from here.
No, the waist is solid. Spine is solid.
Yeah. All right, so pretty posable for a big guy.
And he's quite heavy. He's very top heavy. Kind of like that Minosaur that I had over there. Oh, hey, I could get him down. We could compare sizes there.
Well, Professor D says he's not a fan of the Popeye four-armed Voltron, 80s version for the win.
Just means he's really strong.
Yeah, I mean, one backhand from this Voltron is like he's taking out the row beast.
Yeah.
Damn.
That just means that this Voltron ate his spinach.
And Toy Ward Vintage Review says, yeah, look at that Ginsu knife. I don't know. Which Voltron's
Okay,
more
so-
menacing? The one coming at you with a sword, or the one coming at you with a machete who's also, like, shredded in the arms?
Here's the ex-Transbots Minosaur coming in behind him.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's pretty close. He's just only like a head taller.
Yes.
He's a big dude.
It's pretty good size.
Toy Warp Finish Review says the chances of a legendary defender Voltron killing you is low, but never 0%.
That's right.
See, now we go back to that debate in terms of if Voltron and Transformers were of the same scale, and you were to put them in a fight with each other, say in this situation, Voltron versus Minosaur.
Voltron would destroy him.
I think so, but Minosaur is a bit
Voltron is
crazy.
mystic. Voltron is formed by mystic materials that have never been seen before in any reality.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna say
the Voltron. Even when you do knock it down, it just needs a matter of time for it to power back up, and even when it's down, they still can't destroy it.
Yeah, I always sort of considered that, like, Transformers, as much as I love them, in terms of power levels compared to other fictional robots, they tend to be on the lower end of things. Like, I always figured Megazords and Voltrons and stuff like that could probably beat them.
Well,
they
the
could
big
probably
thing is all the other ones, there's magic involved.
Yeah.
Right.
The only magic that we have with Transformers is hammer space.
Mm-hmm.
Tom's trailer goes into hammer space. Omega
Right.
Supreme's whole launch pad goes into hammer space, and then when he lands, there's his base on the other planet. They have hammer space, so they can teleport their own shit with them, but none of them really power anything up on themselves.
Yeah, they're just people, robot people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which does pose another question. The Stunticons had like their anti-gravity shield around them that made them almost impervious to anything. They could drive up walls, drive through anything. How was Motormaster able to? Why would Motormaster lose to Optimus if Motormaster has basically an invincible shield?
Because he's not bright enough to use it. That's what I'd go with.
Damn.
By the way, regarding this specific shot of Bumblebee, somebody on Twitter pointed out it's 3 movies now in a row where they've had a Bumblebee being lifted and strangled by someone. Nemesis Prime did it in The Last Night, and then Blitzwing did it in the last movie, and now he's getting choked out by Scourge. Like, this shot has now happened 3 times.
I think at some point, if somebody's saying, "Okay, we've had enough Bumblebee for the last few years, like let's focus on a few other characters,"
or like, this is how I'm going to establish this is a bad guy. I'm going to get him to choke the Kid Appeal character.
Yeah.
I think he stabbed him in this though, or something from what I was seeing earlier. Like he had some spike. What's that?
What are you going to make me do? Lose my voice a second time? Is what he says.
Yeah.
So Professor D on YouTube says Voltron versus Minosaur is the same power differential as Superman versus Batman, but Bruce is a bit smarter than Motormaster.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Courage, I don't guess I've ever shown you this.
Oh, the box jet fire.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was $10.85. It still has the price tag on it.
Oh, okay, it was, not is.
No, it was $10.85 at Lane's.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's never been opened.
Yeah, it's even got the bag and everything. That is a lovely box.
Crazy, yep.
Yeah. It's just completely classic. And he's not yellowed or anything, too, which is great.
No, he's been in the shelf. The guy that I got it from said he'd been in his basement since he was a child.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, trailer stuff. I have no idea where this is set. It's just a building that's on fire.
So,
oh
no, you go ahead.
He's saying in the original lore, Voltron was a one-piece sentient robot before the Queen of the Universe split him up into 5 lines to do good instead of evil. Wow, Voltron lore that I didn't know about is wild.
Yeah, I don't think I recall that.
If you watch the Netflix one, the Voltron Legendary Defender, it really gets into the backstory of how they were created and stuff. It's not that one. That's why it's called Legendary Defender. I guess I can put my camera back over on me. It's called Legendary Defender, and it's really cool. Where it was just it was a rift in time space, and they found this asteroid, and the guy that was trying to build a ship out of it, he was like, it's like the metal wants to be formed into these certain shapes. And the shapes became the lions. And like when they flew the ships, they didn't even know that they would combine until they needed them to combine, and the ships pulled them together and it formed, and they were all like, what the hell?
Interesting.
Yeah. Which I'm going, as you know, I'm an architect, so if I designed something and I didn't know that it had a port where another piece of this ship could stick its foot through its asshole, I'm a piss poor designer.
Well, Professor D says, but I still vote for Minosaur because I root for the underdog. And Toro Vintage Review says the Netflix version is astoundingly good. I highly recommend it.
It's funny how that means something different in Voltron than Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, trailer.
Trailer.
Yeah, I do not know what's happening in that shot. I've seen it a few times, but like I guess he lit something off and in this fiery place. Okay, so this is Peru, and also this is the only time we get to see Wheeljack's robot mode. He's second from the right in the corner, so he's just from the back there, and that's Mirage on the left, and everybody else is easy to identify. And I guess there's a parade in Peru at some point. Oh, Rhinox.
Yep.
He's being voiced by David Sobolov, who voiced Depth Charge in Beast Wars, and so is weirdly the only Beast Wars person returning for this. Yeah, and looks real good, real mechanical. And there's Optimus getting a transformation sequence. Oh, you can see he's got like the Bayverse style mouth there now.
Yep.
And I guess a bunch of people land in the middle of Brooklyn. I guess this happens earlier in the movie. 3 of them specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Optimus again with his mouth plate now.
It's a weird mouth plate, though. So
Yeah, I think you like it better when he has his thing down.
yeah.
Probably because
If I'm not mistaken, it solidifies if you let it play a little more.
Yeah, there you go. There you
Okay.
go. That's the look
There
we
you
want.
go.
He's
Yeah.
got like the insect mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's Battle Trap, who you can only we've seen pictures of his figure, so we know what he looks like. So it's okay that he's indistinct here. And it's the rest of the Beast Warriors. Cheetor gets to be there and flip and transform, and we barely get to see his robot mode. It's still a mystery. We don't know what he looks like. People have been freeze framing it. Oh, Optimus gets to transform. Optimus Primal. You can see he's got like the Optimus face there.
Yep.
And he has 2 swords on a chain, which is cool because the original toy had a flail and 2 swords, so they're just combining them into one weapon. Yeah. And the requisite 3rd act giant battle somewhere in front of a ship or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's the lady lead there. I forget her name. Elena, yeah. With RC, whose wheels migrated up to her shoulders, I guess. And then they end on the same shot of Mirage.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is fabulous to me. For not just because of the Beast Wars stuff, but just as a Bumblebee sequel that's carrying forward the sort of feelings of that one. I'm like, yeah, okay, this has made me genuinely excited for this. Yeah, the Beast Wars guys are just kind of a bonus, especially because it's very removed from the Beast Wars setting, which is they were alone on a planet. It's yeah, I'm just super invested in this.
Yeah, I would say out of all of the live action movies, this one does intrigue me to actually want to go see it in the theater.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just who would have told me in 2007 that they were going to do a Beast Wars movie eventually? I wouldn't have believed that.
Mm-hmm.
or a movie with Beast Wars stuff in it, beyond Scorponok having an appearance.
So you do like Beast Wars, right?
Oh yeah, I started on Generation 2, but Beast Wars was also very much a big thing when I was slightly older. that kept me going.
I wanted to check. I did finally open up that gold bug, so I am getting your box ready to ship.
Oh, cool.
Spin gave me your address. I think it was Spin. Well, somebody on the Primus page gave me your address.
Yeah, we all have access to that, so we just kind of message as necessary.
But, I have some Beast Wars stuff here. I am not a fan.
Oh, really? Well,
I never have been a fan. So I'm going to throw them in the box, and they're coming to you. And these are original stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's coming to you. And if it's something that you want to like and add to your collection, go for it. If it's something you can turn and make a buck, go for it. It's nothing that it means absolutely nothing to me. It's something that I ordered this lot and these pieces came. I ordered this lot and these pieces came.
I will be sure to
I'm not
unbox
going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to wait for it to get there and it'll be a surprise for you. So if you like it, you can have it. It's yours. If not, move it on to somebody else. But they are actual Beast 1 Generation G1 Beast Wars Transformers.
Yeah. Beast Wars Generation 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But the first Beast Wars Transformers.
Yeah.
Well, I see some reviews about to happen once they show up.
Oh yeah, straight up. I love looking at vintage stuff like that. Yeah. The background in that battle scene, Professor D says, looks generally low budget, like low budge, like a video game more than a blockbuster. He's talking about the thing at the end with the spaceship in the background.
Yeah, but the film ain't due till next year, so who to say they might be doing some updates to it? So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it could look like that in the final movie too, but I will say, like, previous Transformers films also, they frequently have like not quite polished CGI in the trailers. Like all the Bay movies had that happen. So maybe it'll be like that. Maybe it'll get better. There were several notable instances of things looking different in the final film compared to the trailers in the Bay movies because the CGI wasn't quite done yet. I remember somebody pointing out a shot in the Revenge of the Fallen trailer of a bunch of soldiers reacting to nothing because they hadn't CGI'd the robot in yet. And Stephen Joyce says, I hate Beast Wars, to which I say, well, we can't all have taste.
exactly.
I don't knock anybody for. I'm not a fan of them. There's a couple of pieces that I love. I love the Transmetal Black Arachnia because I love spiders, and she is wicked. And one of these lots that I bought was to get that Black Arachnia spider.
Yeah, it's a good game.
So that give you an idea of some of the pieces that are going to be there.
Hey, just hold on to your horses. They're making one.
A Transmetal 2 Black Arachnia?
They're making one.
I haven't heard about that yet, but I'll believe it when it happens.
They'd have to step their game up really bad because that Transmetal Black Arachnia is spot on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Professor D saying, I agree with Calvin. I think they'll spruce those backgrounds up. Hey, I said that too. I agree with him and specifically not you.
Yeah, I got to step away for 2 minutes, so you guys continue.
I'm going to step out and grab a smoke. I will leave you with jet fires.
What timing?
Everybody leaving me behind.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's why I say you just got to wait because now they had a listing that came out. There is some figures that's coming out, and Silver Bowl is one of them.
Yeah, I saw that listing. I don't remember there being Black Arachnia on the list.
No, she's going to be the next lineup. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that have the stuff like they're not telling you guys. It's just a surprise, but some of the stuff has been leaked. That's just one of the pages. There's more stuff coming.
Oh, really? I mean, I'm down for it because, like, I will literally collect the whole Beast Wars showcast. That's what I've been trying to do, and they've been slowly doing them. So they keep making them. I'll keep getting them. And Professor D says, I ate beast s'mores. Were they delicious? I hope so.
What the hell is that?
I will say, the thing that I always like to say is, even if you didn't like Beast Wars, Transformers in the 90s was on life support because I talk about how I love Generation 2, but Generation 2 was a flop. Like, the comic got canceled. A bunch of the toys got canceled. It was on life support. So they gave it to Kenner because they did not care what happened to it. And that's why Beast Wars happened, because they reinvented it so heavily. And it became a big success and basically breathed new life into the thing. So even if you don't specifically care for Beast Wars, I don't think it's a stretch to say the franchise wouldn't be alive and well today if that really popular, successful version of it hadn't happened. Because it was popular and successful and did, breathe new life into the whole thing. So that's always my non-content related defense,
Hey, Transformers to me is just what it is, man. I collect them all.
Mm-hmm.
If it transforms, I will buy
it. So does that mean you'll get GoBots too?
You damn Skippy.
Oh, all right. Yeah. But like Beast Wars was gigantic for me too when I was a kid because, like I said, I started on Generation 2, but Beast Wars is what kept me a fan because, like, suddenly this thing that I liked continued into something else, and it was a sequel to it. So that's what sort of has me here today, basically. I had a lot of interest when Generation 2 was a thing. A lot of other shows I watched, but like Beast Wars kind of kept it going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested in one of the reasons I'm interested in that mystery lot that Mr. Magnus would be sending me is because I had a lot of Beast Wars toys. Me and my cousin, like between us, we'd make sure we got different ones. So like we'd have like a lot of them so that we could play with each other's. So I don't have much vintage Beast Wars stuff left because it either broke or I sold it, which I kind of regret. Yeah. So if he's got some things in there that I had when I was a kid, I would be particularly interested in that. I think I
ended up picking up all like the reissues of Beast Wars stuff, and then I just bought some stuff off of eBay a while ago, like 3 years ago. And ever since then, I just never stopped collecting them.
Yeah, I will say like they did Kingdom and then they did the Beast Wars reissues after Kingdom had been out for a while, and I already bought a bunch of Kingdom stuff. If they said right at the beginning they were going to do reissues, I might have gotten those instead, even though I like Kingdom, because I'm like, oh, these ones are literally the ones I used to have.
Yeah.
But also Kingdom's doing the whole cast and reissues are moving really slowly. So maybe I backed the right horse. I don't know. The Transmittal 2 Megatron I just got. I had this guy when I was a kid. I had the original, so now I have.
I got the original too. Mine's still in the box.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Yeah, I think the only I got him over here. I literally only have one vintage guy that survived from my childhood. Little basic sized guy called Armadillo because he's an armadillo. Nah. It's the same size class as Rat Trap, so it means he's a spring-loaded guy. You just pull his thing and pull his tail, and he's an armadillo. And then those little weapons turn into his legs.
That's from Beast Wars Neo?
No, he was repainted into Beast Wars Neo. They turned him red and they called him Bump.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I know, because I kind of want one, because this guy was my first Beast Wars figure, and the only one that's still around. So, like, I'll get the red version if I see him at a convention. Professor D said,
"No,
I'm
go to eBay.
Step out for a smoke. You guys can keep going." I don't know. I don't really do eBay. I like because when I go to conventions, I'm selling stuff, so like I'm making money as I buy things. So it costs me less to do it that way, even regardless of the markup, Plus, I kind of like just finding these things in box, and I like stumbling across them physically at a convention. There's just a charm to that I don't get by trawling eBay. Professor D says Charlie and Calvin may have similar number of figures in their backgrounds, but very different display choices. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I got Toads too.
Well,
I don't have them in my background, but you're only seeing the good stuff.
Yeah, I will say, part of me, I get why there's precedent for casting Ron Perlman, but I do really kind of wish that they'd gotten Gary Chalk back the same way they went out of their way to get Peter Cullen back, because Gary Chalk's still doing stuff. He's still an actor. He plays a lot of bit parts in movies, and he's still a voice actor. So I do kind of wish they'd gotten him to be Optimus Primal.
But see now. I wonder what they're going to take I wonder what they're going to do now, because now they have to do a prequel to Beast Wars.
Well, maybe. It depends on where they came from. We don't know that. We don't know what these guys' story is.
Well, they're time travelers. Remember I said this before. They're time travelers, so they went back into the past. But if they're going after the golden disc, and like I said, it's all about the artifacts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I keep thinking that too. I mean, could a golden disc show up in this movie? Maybe. They do have a character who's an artifact hunter.
Ooh.
Yeah. I said this before, but my pitch would be to have the second golden disc from Beast Wars, which was not the Voyager record; it was the Alien disc, because
that
would make sense. Yeah, the one from the Vok. I have a little replica right here because it came. This one.
Yeah.
Because the other one is just the Voyager space probe record, which is like a real thing.
Right.
Yeah. But like, if they do the alien disc, that'd be a great shout.
Dude.
And Professor D says the Cheetor Beast mode looks good to me. Yeah, I like what they're doing there with these designs. If they're not going to be realistic animals, then I think this is a good compromise.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's very Beast Machines-esque. You know, the sequel series to Beast Wars, where the point where they all became techno-organic. Optimus Primal's design, Cheetor's design, they're both very reminiscent of how they looked on that. Rhinox and Ares weren't in Beast Machines, so these feel like hypothetical Beast Machines designs for them. Yeah, but like I do wonder what the story is here, because like Beast Wars involves time travel, the original show, right? Like they wind up getting thrown back in time into a strange planet. So I'm like, they come from the future many years after the Great War ended, and they go to the past, and Kingdom kept that as their backstory. So I wonder if that's going to be in this film as well, right? Like maybe they are time travelers from the distant future. Maybe they've been on Earth since the ancient past. It's all speculation at this point, but that'd be a good way to sort of honor that story and still do something in the present day.
So that means you got two big baddies. You got the Bach and you got Unicron.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Nobody is saying Unicron, but this new faction with Scourge as its lead are called the Terrorcons, and they keep talking about a larger threat. Everybody and their mother is like, obviously they're teasing Unicron as a thing.
Bro, it's the Bach, bro. It's the Bach. Look them up.
I think the Vok. I think the Vok would be more interesting. So for those unfamiliar, the Vok were an alien species from Beast Wars that were part of like a sort of an X-Files type story they had going, because they started to become aware that there were all these artifacts on the planet they were on, and that they were being watched by this alien intelligence. And eventually it turns out that they were running an experiment on this planet, and the Vok aren't happy about them messing it up, so they try to exterminate them to reset the thing. So they're just like mysterious alien observers who left artifacts behind and have plans for the planet that they're on. I don't think it'll be those guys, but I would love it if it was those guys, because, you know, again, more Beast Wars stuff. And hey, they were in the new comic, the one IDW did, so they are on people's minds recently.
Bro, if that happens, you got two big baddies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am assuming Scourge is an emissary for something else, so he's not the big bad. He is the person that the big bad sent, whoever that might be.
He's a lead. Actually, he's a herald. So if you really look at it, you got Unicron. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, she didn't appear in this trailer, but the third known Terracon is Nightbird. She's going to be in this movie. People have pointed out during some of the battle scenes, you can see blurry purple figures, like a blurry purple figure, and they're like, oh, that's probably Nightbird. They just haven't shown us her yet. We've seen her vehicle mode because they did a production photo of all the vehicles.
Go back to the part where Air Razor was shooting at the bridge. In that clip, she's in there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Let's wait and see for that to come up. I got no problem with it.
Skunk or something.
Nightbird?
Yep. It's the bridge scene where Air Razor, when she was shooting at the bridge, and it showed clearly on the back. I watched another YouTuber. They actually show her. She's like a little small car, sports car.
Yeah. Like people have pointed out, like she's definitely in some of the shots. They just haven't emphasized her yet. But yeah, it's cool. Nightbird's going to make the jump into a movie, too, as far as, like, obscure G1 things go. I love the holograms bit.
Right.
Where is it? It's coming up here. Get ready to... where is this miniature car? I'm sure if it was, like, 4K, maybe, but I'm like, right now I don't see nothing.
No, you ain't going to see anything, because it's too fast to see, but the dude broke the trailer down.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's Prime in the back in there.
Yeah. But yeah, like I saw people point out during that big cluster battle at the end, they were like, oh, there's something blurry and purple there that's probably Nightbird in the middle of this fight.
Right over there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's someone. Because, I mean, given the fact that there's a big battle, there's probably also going to be some kind of cannon fodder generic troop for them to fight, like there is in some of the other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, you got to
What's the
have
car
more than
back
three.
there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's probably Nightbird. Because I'm like, that's...
They showed a Skyline, a Nissan Skyline in one of the pictures.
Yeah, that was her
You
alternate.
must-
That's confirmed as her alternate mode. Yeah, but yeah, I saw the purple rims there. So all right, yeah, that is Nightbird's vehicle mode. In the other, right before Mirage got in the way.
Oh,
Yep.
Somebody's getting clocked by that boulder right there in that picture.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of the generic bad guys. It was something with long limbs getting just knocked. Yeah, getting conked in the head, just tumbling down the hill. Is it? It's just the worst cameo possible. Ah!
Wow. Knocked by a boulder and then shot at.
Yeah. Somebody else falling. That looks like what is that cryptid-looking thing? It had long limbs and red eyes. Hello, Funko PDX from YouTube. We're micro-analyzing the trailer for this movie.
Professor D actually has a bunch of questions.
okay.
Actually, there we go.
Who wins? Voltron versus. I'm gonna make the Borg. In the long run, the Borg. Voltron could probably blow up a cube, but if they sent a second cube, they'd know what to do.
Yeah. The Borg can adapt to anything.
Yeah. So if they only had to deal with one cube, I'm sure he could probably just cleanly slice the whole thing in half. But if another one showed up, he'd be done.
Yeah. Okay. And then,
God, can you imagine the Borg taking over the power of Voltron?
Oh, that'd be terrifying. That's a comic book cover waiting to happen. Give it a fake eye and some stuff on it, and there you go. That's some art. Unicorn. I'm guessing he means Unicron.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Q, obviously. Q can just teleport him to another dimension or something.
This is true.
Q can rewrite reality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The answer, like, Q versus most things, it's Q. Unless it was maybe, like, another reality warping god. But, like, anything physical, like...
Except for the time when Cisco, like, punched Q in the face. Where it was
yeah.
Picard wouldn't have gone that far.
I'm not Picard. You notice he never came back to Deep Space Nine after that? He's like, I don't want to... I'm too ashamed. I don't want to show my face around there no more.
Yep.
Swoop versus Phoenix from G-Force. Battle of the Planets. I guess he means planets. I don't know Battle of the Planets. Other people have to do on that.
I do. The Phoenix would melt Swoop.
Interesting. Okay.
It gets hot enough on the outside of it that the pilots on the inside of it almost pass out from heat exhaustion every time they activate it.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Swoop is on the low end. Like, he's really strong, but he's just a guy. Like, in terms of compared to other Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah. I wonder what's happening at that building there. I do love that shot of them walking. That's just well composed.
Man, I'm just saying, when no figures come out, oh boy.
Yeah, some of these designs I'm immediately like, I would like the figure of this. RC specifically is a good looking one, and I don't know. I have to see what they do with their Optimus, because I have the premium finish repaint of the Bumblebee one, and this is pretty close. So I'm like, they'd have to do something really impressive to make me go in on another one.
Yo, what's up, Mike?
Oh, hey, everybody. We've just been micro-analyzing this trailer. Well, so I tell me what you think of it, presuming you have thoughts.
Give me 1 second. You guys are cutting in and out. Hold on. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
Can you get us yet? Oh, I think he froze.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, I'm back.
Yeah. So tell me, sir. What did you think about this trailer?
You know what, guys? I'm gonna have to go on my laptop because it's going in and out. So I'll tune right back in. So sorry, guys. It's just I can't hear you. I can hear you, then it cuts off, and I can't hear you.
Okay.
No problem. Can't wait for you to tell
Okay,
us
I'll be
how
right
this is
back.
wonderful and you loved it. Yeah. God, what was I talking about? I don't know. I'll have to see what they do with the merchandise because I kind of feel like with my limited shelf space between going in on Kingdom already and going in on Studio Series Bumblebee, I feel like I have most of this stuff covered.
Well,
So I'll have to see what they do with it.
see,
Actually,
this is
Go
what.
do repaints.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Weird repaints are often the way to go for these things.
Well, because like I just said, this is what I'm gonna do. Give me another blue tote like this one,
Just load
and
them up in totes.
they're all gonna go in totes.
What if they don't have any blue ones?
I go get a clear one too. That'll work too.
Ah,
You see how that works? Until I get my MTV cribs, then they all come out the totes. Be on my huge display in my room.
That was my plan,
You
too.
gotta get your stuff out like me and Charlie have.
Yep,
Oof.
dude, I got so much stuff. It's insane. Like it's insane.
Oh, Professor D's saying train bots versus stunticons. I'm gonna go with train bots because,
Riding.
yeah, having watched Headmasters, they're a pretty well coordinated team of guys.
Yes, sir.
So I
that
kind
is
of feel
true.
like the stunticons, being the mess that they are, would probably lose to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a close one. Like that could go either way because there's not a huge discrepancy in like power level. They're both just like standard combiners.
Hmm.
Yeah. So like I'm gonna say train bots, but like that's not a hard decision.
Well, it's funny in terms of like I said, the most animalistic or brutal combiners are on the Decepticon side between Predaking, Abominus, and Piranacon.
Yeah.
So it's,
Each
Like
my
a-
god, Neptune.
yeah, so like in a fight within those three, like no one should be able to defeat any of those three combiners.
Right.
Interesting bit of trivia I first got. The Predacons were originally supposed to be a team of Autobots called the Anabots. Like in production, they were designed that way, and their name was changed. They were repainted. They were released as the Predacons. So there was a plan for them to be heroes, but like they decided to release them as villains instead.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess because while fiction doesn't do this too much, the fact that they're like a team of 5 animals with swords, I always figured they were supposed to be Dinobot rivals specifically.
Hmm.
So maybe they were like, no, the bad guys need a team of 5 animal warriors with swords specifically. So,
Well, I'm surprised that they shifted them over to the Decepticons because I mean in the early G1 days, in terms of combiners, the Decepticons outnumbered what the Autobots had.
yeah. Yeah, and that would have made it an even match because you had the 4 Scramble City guys, which were 2 to each faction, and then before that you had Devastator. So that would have made it an even 3-on-3 instead of 2-on-4.
Yeah.
I don't know, weird choice. Look, I'd love to know.
So Charlie, I'm looking at your background there. Are you in a store or is it your house?
Me?
It's in my house in the basement.
This is my upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wife doesn't like them below the first level.
Oh, yeah, your background, it does look like a comic shop's like display, basically. There'd just be minuscule price tags on everything.
Yeah.
A nice setup.
Do you know the number? Do you know the number of your bots? How many individual
I
bots do
have?
you have? Yeah.
No, I had way too many. Like I get stuff in boxes and It's crazy. Like I should have probably sold some a long time ago, but
Damn.
yeah. I got the original Optimus Primal, like the gorilla one.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of those still in boxes. I got the Primus.
Oh, a Cybertron Primus.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then they re-released him, and I was like, "Holy cow!" I mean, I think he looks a little bit better, but not much. But yeah, I got.
That was one of the possibilities thrown around for that next HasLab, Primus to go against Unicron. Which,
Ooh, that would make sense.
Yeah, which, transforming Cybertron Primus is less known, but like having a big Cybertron planet sort of sells itself too. So, yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Yep.
And
yeah, they did a.
can you see the price tag?
I can't from here. I need to blow the screen up.
$26,000.
Yeah.
Too much light on it. It was $5 at the Goodwill store.
Yeah. Does it have any of its any of its accessories still?
No, I have to use a battery to activate everything, but it does transform on its own, and everything pops up automatically.
Wow.
So the springs and everything are still good, but I think there's something missing here.
Yeah, I gotta feel like it. Well,
I just pose it with my Unicrons and make it look like they're playing ball with them and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a planet Cybertron, and that has its own innate appeal. It's got like cities and stuff on its surface too.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. They did a repaint in 2010 when they did the fancy Unicron repaint that tried to make him look like a cartoon Cybertron specifically. I remember thinking that looks pretty neat.
I have that one.
Yeah, the 2010 version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
What was the one I just showed you? Is that Energon?
Cybertron. Yeah. Cybertron the show. Yeah, let me just find an image of this. Primus.
So do you ask another question? Who wins with Skylynx versus Garuda?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I looked it up, but there's too many references of that for me to pick just one. So,
yeah, let's go with. I choose the one I know. Yeah.
So, yeah, give it a more defined answer for that one.
Yeah. So I got an image of the full Primus here. So this was a Transformers Cybertron Primus, which is the one you got. Don't know if he came with anything on the back though. And a little further down is this is the 2010 repaint that I was talking about that tried to make his planet mode look a bit more like cartoon Cybertron. To debatable results. That's still Cybertron. And then they did a version of him for The Last Night. Is it on this page? They might count it as something else. The Last Night Cybertron. Yeah, there we go. Right here, yeah. This is the third version. They released this as a store exclusive during The Last Night.
Wow.
Ooh, I like that one though. I like the colors on that one.
Yeah,
right.
That one looks really nice.
Why don't you just give us that?
Pardon?
They should give us that as a reissue.
Yeah, like that's not a bad looking one. It was just I think it was a Toys R Us exclusive, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I like the orange core of the planet, sort of the way that color scheme suggests it.
See, now I got to go find it on eBay. Great.
Yeah. So this was released in the Last Night, and it's just called Cybertron. It's not called Primus anymore. It's just Cybertron. Yeah, it's just a straight repaint of the other one. But yeah, I wouldn't mind HasLab giving this a do-over just to see what they do with it. Make one that's in scale with Unicron.
I wonder if they'll do more like a one that actually looks like the original pictures of Primus.
Yeah. You talking about the big face? Where is it here? Yeah, that. Oh, come on.
Oh no.
Trying to run a show here. There we go.
Like one in a book that looked all kind of hunchback over.
Oh yeah. Furman had that in the Ultimate Guide. It's probably on this page. It's Marvel 3H. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Dreamwave. Yeah, this was where. So this is just an illustration from the Ultimate Guide that came out during the Dreamwave years, and this is where the idea came from of Cybertron transforming. Yeah. Actually, that would be a good idea because this design's never had a toy before. Like they just drew that as kind of a lark, just to put in the book.
I think that would be pretty sick.
Yeah. So as HasLab Unicron's opposite, would you get that as a giant robot? Especially because he'd transform into like Cybertron itself.
Oh, and even the shells where it came out along the side of his leg, like if they could somehow put like the guns or whatever into the shells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be great. So yeah, that's the version the first transforming Primus that existed. The other thing they want people to do is do Kingdom Rodimus Prime in gold because the very first Primus toy they ever put out was a extremely rare lucky draw figure that was released in like back in the days of Rodimus Prime repaint because he looked like that in G1, right? He had Rodimus's face. Yeah, you have to excuse me for a second, gentlemen. My phone is going off.
Wow, that's a crazy looking Rodimus.
Yeah, it's super rare. It was like a lucky draw. They only made a few of them.
Wow.
A gold member.
Yeah. Yeah, people paint Kingdom Rodimus Prime in this color scheme.
It's Dutch.
You guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Okay.
I just have to step away for a second.
All right. Good evening, gentlemen. Sorry that I'm late. My son had a hockey game.
What they do?
Yeah, they sucked. They lost.
Oh.
Oh no.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's not your fault, man. You went on the ice. So I guess you guys did your little video reaction review of the trailer.
Yeah, it's still running in the background, so I can bring it back up in a moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Once Anthony jumps back in.
I know Anthony was asking me about my opinion. I did see the trailer, but I don't want to kind of repeat what you guys said. So anything? Well, crap. I'm gonna ask what you guys said. So give me a recap, if you guys mind, and then I give my opinion.
I'm looking forward to it, which says a lot because I don't like anything of the Bayverse.
Well, I don't know if you guys discussed this or not, but rumor has it that the first Bumblebee movie and this Transformer movie, it is in the Bayverse. Depending on how this movie goes, this is supposed to be Paramount or Hasbro or Paramount, whatever you want to call it, Days of Future Past, like how X-Men did, to kind of reset the whole soft reboot. So what I understand is that these what's called Beast War figures or the Maximals are actually coming from the future to the past to make them aware of what's happening with Unicron. So the main villain, what they're seeing for the next couple of videos, they want to do a couple more movies, is going to be Unicron, which I'm glad to hear. And if you look at the background of the trailer, the Terracons, so apparently the leader, Scourge, for what I understood in these rumors, because if you look at the battle that they're having, there's quite a few. You see this battle here. There's quite a few Decepticons and Autobots going at, or Terracons, I should say, going at it. apparently Scourge has some power from Unicron or something like that to bring back some of the dead.
I'm back. So tell me how much you liked this.
Oh, I liked it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
but
good.
What I'm hearing. Okay, so I'll do a quick recap. I really liked it. I really enjoyed what's called this the video. I was just going over the trailer. I was just going over some of the rumors that I heard.
Yeah, what'd you hear?
This one here is supposed to be like I said, Hasbro or Paramount, what's called Days of Future Past, like how the
I've heard that too.
Kind of reset the timeline, right?
Yeah.
And so they're also saying, depending on how this movie goes, right, and then it will lead up to the main bad guy, which is going to be Unicron.
Yeah.
Scourge
I mean, everybody's.
Go ahead. I was about to say Scourge is basically Unicron's hurl, right? Like Silver Surfer is to Galaxus. That's what Dee was kind of mentioning before. Oh, hey, Jess. And they're saying Scourge has the ability to kind of raise the dead.
I was going.
That motherfucker cheated on his wife.
Sorry?
Uh-oh.
Are we going for a just second at the moment?
Here we go.
We're doing a just second. Breaking news. This is a just second moment. Hey,
That
Jess.
fucking Anthony Ramos cheated on his fiancee Jasmine, and I'm like, you motherfucker. Now I can't watch Hamilton without being angry. Every time I go to watch Hamilton, I'm just like, you motherfucker.
Oh, episode of Cheaters, huh?
All right, I'm gonna go. I just want to say, goddamn fucking Anthony Ramos. Can't even watch In the Heights now because I'm just like, I was looking forward to watching it. Now I'm like, that cheating son of a bitch. Way too invested in other people's lives.
Hey, man, we're in 2022. You never know what goes on these days.
There you go.
All right, bye.
Breaking news.
All right.
Children of Primus was just a second.
That was a just moment.
That was just a moment.
All right. Just a moment? Okay, so that was just a moment. So
I heard the rumor about the Days of Future Pasting it, which makes sense because I said Beast Wars is usually about time travel one way or another.
Well, and that's what they're saying. They're basically saying the Maximals are actually time traveling back to make the Autobots aware, or Optimus Prime aware about the big bad, what's called Unicron.
Yeah.
And Scourge is actually well, hold on. Here's the thing. Scourge apparently has the capability or the powers, like in Transformer Prime, to raise the dead with Unicron's ability, I guess, or his blood, like how it was in Transformer Prime.
Terrorcons, that's what they call this new faction, and that's what the zombies were called in Transformers Prime. So
right,
the
and so,
name is showing up.
So if you look at the battle, right, that's actually it looks like that's what it is. The other thing that I really liked about this trailer as well too, it really focused on more on the robots versus the humans.
Yeah, I said that right.
They're more of the background, which I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, I said that at the start of the trailer. I'm like, they're like a few seconds in, they're like, here's a robot monkey that talks. We're not beating around the bush.
Yeah. And then the other thing as well too, what I really liked about this, about the what's called the Maximals, they actually gave them more of a realistic look.
Yeah.
I
said earlier that they remind me of their Beast Machines designs because of how like they're sort of half technological, half organic.
Yep. And then on top of it, the only one thing I just don't like is really Wheeljack being a VW minivan there, whatever you want to call it, right? But overall, like the feeling, the flow, the battle, the look of the figures, or when I say figure, the robots, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I think they did a really good job here, so I'm actually really excited. Now, there's more rumors that I heard. I don't want to really go right into it because at the end of the day, for me, I'm trying to go in here as limited as possible of information that I can get. I want to go there fresh.
Yeah. I do that with a lot of movies, but this is one of those things where I'm going to be like, no, hook it all up directly to my brain as we go.
Yeah.
That's not my usual approach. I'm the same. Most movies, I'll watch like one trailer and then just not pay attention until it actually comes out.
Yeah, like I avoid conversations or any this and that. Or like I just want to go in just completely fresh and an open slate, get my own opinion.
Yeah. See, now here's the other thing. They're actually talking about there might be some of the what's called the predacons.
Yeah, I would be surprised because I would love that. I would also be surprised because it feels like it's a very stuffed full of things movie already, right?
And they're actually saying there's going to be some Decepticons in there. For example, instead of Soundwave, it might be Sound Blaster.
Yeah. Hey, see, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, again, where would they fit into this story? That would be interesting if they could pull it off. But I'm also where would they? What is their role here?
For me here with this movie, which I'm hoping is that they give little tidbits, but I don't want them to try to pack everything all at once. You got 2 other movies to make.
Yeah, I'm thinking about how Bumblebee sort of handled it with the one bit at the beginning and then the flashback midway. Like, if they do Predacons or Decepticons, like, with that amount of, like, quick presence, that'd be a good amount, Yeah,
or even a flashback, like the Predacons trying to get away from the maximals trying to get away from the Predacon.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of Bumblebee, like, how they had that battle on Cybertron, right?
Yeah.
So if they could do something like that, I'm happy. But if they try to pack too much stuff in this movie, maybe trying to make up for all the Bayverse movies, if you know what I mean, then I'm gonna say you try too hard. Like, just keep it simple. But so far, my personal opinion, again, what I've seen so far, awesome.
Yeah.
I would say going by what you said, that all depends on how well the writers actually sat down and just figured out the entire project, which that's why I've always said I've preferred things in the MCU, but I've also like TV shows and series for the same reason, where they have an episode plot, a season plot, and an entire series plot. So as unlike like the G1 episodes, like something happens in one episode, then you go to the next episode and it's like really everything's disconnected. But as you go like through each episode, that's like a part of like that entire season, but there's still tidbits of like the entire series. And I mean, the series could be like 5-6 seasons long, but you still have to go through the whole series, in order to put all the pieces together. What's up?
No, I totally, hey, D, I totally agree. And
what's good, brothers?
The one thing that I really liked as well too, it kind of reminded me like Black Panther when they came out with that nice, like the first movie Black Panther when they came out with that nice soundtrack. You're like, you got your little hype. I have to give it to them when they were playing
Juicy.
Juicy, right?
Yeah, that was cool.
I was like, you know what? It's in Brooklyn. They're playing Juicy. I was like, you know what? I like it.
Oh, I just looked it up. I was wondering about the timeline of it, and yeah, Juicy apparently came out in 1994, which is the year this movie is set. So it is actually period appropriate.
Oh, wait a minute. This is based in the 90s?
Yeah, this is set in the year 1994. The trailer doesn't really lead with it, but yeah, this is a period piece.
Wow, I thought I was led to. Well, I really thought it was more of an 80s movie.
No, Bumblebee the movie, I believe it was set in 1988. So this is about 6 years later.
84.
No.
Oh, you know what? You're right. It was 84, and then okay, never mind. I was thinking like, okay, my bad.
Was it 88?
They showed the date like right at the start of the film on the screen, like as soon as we cut to Earth. I believe it was 88.
I thought it was. I was thinking 84 as well.
I'm just gonna look that up real quick.
Because that's when Transformers basically invaded, the U.S., right?
You know what would be a true,
Gentlemen, it is now 9:00 here, and I get up at 3 a.m. So I'm signing off.
That isn't fair.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's been real to see you guys. Glad you got to come back on, Lottie.
Awesome.
Professor D.
It was awesome seeing your vehicle, Voltron. That was the highlight for me of what you did today.
Buddy, you
Oh, the vehicle! Oh, you got the vehicle vulture. Oh, you gotta show me before you go, Bill.
This is the
2 hours later.
It's okay, man.
This is the Netflix. It's 18 inches tall.
Cool.
Yeah.
I did an unboxing and put it together.
With the Ginsu knife.
How's the articulation on that figure? Does it hold together well?
That's beautiful, man. Wow.
But yeah, I brought out my old ones too. If I can get this thing to turn all the way around.
Yeah.
Now
There's
his
my
house
original
is
one.
the store.
Matchbox Voltron that apparently has lead paint, so wash your hands and don't lick it.
Hold
But
on,
still
Bill.
the best one.
Hold on, Bill.
I need directions to your house.
I got my Voltron right behind Jeff Fire there.
He's like, "There's dangerous lead paint. Let me remove
see
it
it?
for your safety."
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, Jetfire.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
I
see
got
the
my
ears.
Voltron right behind Jeff Fire there.
I see the horn, and then got them in their vehicle modes right now. But there's the Diaruger one.
At the bottom of a bucket.
Fell down a hole.
This is where I found them at my dad's house. I gotta clean them real good.
Get the
looks
lead
like-
paint off.
It looks like he fell
Awesome.
down a hole.
Nice.
But yeah,
That's
but gentlemen,
awesome. It's a trap.
peace.
Have a good
I'm out.
night.
Good seeing you, Bill.
Thank you,
Have a good
sir.
night, buddy.
You too. See you next week.
All right.
There.
By the way, we both had it wrong. According to the Transformers Wiki, it's set in 1987.
All right.
Wow.
And so this one's set in 94, which is the year that song came out. And I don't know if you guys remember, a long time ago, we did an episode when we first found out Rise of the Beasts was going to be set in 94, where I was like, let's come up with our hypothetical soundtrack for this one, because Bumblebee, the movie, had all those
Yep.
80s hits.
Yep.
Did anybody pick Juicy as one of them? Because, was anybody correct? We got to go back and find that and look at our predictions and see if anybody was correct.
I didn't pick Juicy, but I did say Biggie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did we actually name? I remember we talked about it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
if
we did.
actually
I
ended
did.
up naming songs.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think Orlotti and Spin at least did lists.
Yeah.
Well, I would say it's good. It's going to be a true test in terms of how we connect with the movie, because the Bumblebee movie, in terms of what they threw in for 80s references of that time, like it fully connected from what I remember during those years. So now we're gonna see, what they throw in, to represent 1994. Is that what we remember it as?
Yeah.
Well, it's a period piece. I mean, part of what they'll be aiming for is to trigger that nostalgia from that time, right? That's what they do with all in the film.
Yeah, at first I was like, well, this trailer doesn't really do anything to say it's the 90s. But then I remembered none of the Bumblebee trailers did that either. It wasn't until the actual movie that they really plugged the 80s part of it. So,
True.
yeah, I just like I want them to do another album that's like 14 tracks of period pieces of vintage 90s stuff and sprinkle it throughout the movie. Just do the exact same thing again, because I liked it when they did it there. I'm like, please replicate that, but for like early 90s Brooklyn appropriate hip hop and whatever.
So Caden on YouTube says, how do you feel about Ron Perlman voices Primal?
I said my piece earlier. What about everybody else?
I don't mind it. Sorry. Peter Pan can play both characters.
I mean,
You know what?
I don't know the context. Who did Ron Perlman originally do?
Yes and no. He voiced him in the Power of the Primes cartoon, so he has played him in the past, but he's not the original guy.
The original, okay.
Yeah.
So some people want the original guy to be doing it, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I'm like, I'm not too broken up about it, but like I do kind of wish they got Gary Chalk to come back, because he's still very much like in the game, so it's not like he's not available. And it would have been easy fan points the same way Peter Cullen was, Plus, I'm just looking at that scene there, and I'm like, getting the original Prime and the original Primal to be doing a scene across from each other would have been like really cool. So,
Okay, who wins? Toy Warp Vintage Review says the 90s are way hotter than the 80s right now, so they had to time jump it. Now, it's a little bit ironic considering it is neither the 80s or the 90s right now. But here's my question. Who wins? 80s versus ... ellipsis 90s.
That's a good question.
I'm biased because the 90s is what I grew up in.
That's a good.
I'm an 88 baby, so
for me, the 80s in a sense of the music back then, but the 90s for me also has a heart for me because that's when we first all got our driver's license to a certain degree.
That's true. That's
right.
True.
And when in '94, that's when I got what's called my Honda Civic, and that's when I suited all up and everything. And so I was blasting the music like if I was jazz, right?
Yeah.
And my generation started that whole Fast and the Furious kind of genre kind of stuff, right? So when I'm looking at all these cars, all being all tripped out, it kind of brings me back to that moment of time for me, especially the music as well. Pumping the music, right? So it's I'm on the fence on this one. It's a little hard, man. But at the same time too, that is like Mirage is my favorite Porsche, right? So
I don't know. I'm somewhere in the middle because, like, I grew up in the 90s, so anything referencing stuff from that time period is instant nostalgia for me. But also, a lot of the stuff I like is from the 80s. So I don't know. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle.
80s was better, man. 80s was better. Like, in the 90s, some of the stuff from the 80s got refined to a higher level.
Yep.
But a lot of the shit that came out in the 90s was trash, or was degenerated versions of stuff that came in the 80s. So all the great stuff from the 90s is improvements from the 80s, not innovations from the 90s. Like when we talk about 90s, we're still talking about golden era hip hop. The golden era hip hop starts in the 80s. You still got some great rock bands, but there isn't like a genre. Maybe grunge started in the 90s, you could say. Right, but we're not. But none of us are talking about grunge. Nobody's nostalgic for grunge.
No.
Video games were at their best in the 90s, I think.
I shouldn't say nobody.
No, what I would say is that the 90s, the new cast of rappers, like in a sense of like Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah.
Right. So they took over like in the 2000s, 50 Cent and Eminem.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Exactly.
That was that transition, right?
Yeah, and in some ways they built on it. In some ways they're better, but they didn't originate that shit. Like like none of them are Big Daddy Kane. None of them are KRS-One. None of that. It's not Public Enemy. It's a refined version of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to what to
like even Beast Wars, even if you love Beast Wars, right? It's an iteration of Transformers. It's not the invention of Transformers.
No, well, I was gonna further your point there. It's like for Anthony, this is a double shot for him.
Yeah,
because it's like I get G1 and Beast Wars.
Yeah, this is the best of both worlds.
Right, and for us, it's like we got a better G1 movie coming out now, right? In a sense,
hopefully.
like meaning look wise and some of the characters that we loved, right?
Right.
And so that's what's giving us, right? So if it comes to Ron Perlman, whatever his name is, voicing Primal there, to me it doesn't really matter. As long as the voice kind of matches the character, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think that's why it doesn't bug me too much. Like it doesn't feel too much like celebrity voice casting because if I didn't know it was him, I wouldn't immediately recognize him because he vanishes into the role. So I think that's more important than who it is.
Okay, here's what I think is really corny and trash about this scene here. Overall, I like this scene that you keep playing here, Spin, with this intro scene with Prime and Optimus Primal. It's kind of fun, but it does seem a little sloppy. What we've already talked about with the with the people just standing there. As if forget about the water. If something that weighs that much slammed down on the on rocks in front of you, You know, you're not cured. You don't remain standing.
You know what? A real life example. If you're at like Wonderland or like any of those amusement parks and those water rides where you could stand on the bridge when the ride comes down and hits the water, and the people on the bridge, when they get hit with the water, they have to hold on to whatever rails or they're getting knocked over.
Yeah, come on.
Well, here's another thing too.
Just imagine a giant, like a tractor trailer driving by you. Like you're just standing on the edge of the highway. A tractor trailer drives by you. Okay, you're kind of blown away by the wind. Now imagine a tractor trailer just drops in front of you.
Yeah.
Well, okay, further to your point, if I see this huge, you know, mechanical gorilla jumping right in front of me, first of all, I'm running. Because my vision is not that bad. So if I'm seeing this, this huge mechanical gorilla coming towards me, see ya. And then on top of it, like what you said, D, this tractor trailer is kind of like jumping right in front of me. You're telling me you're not going to move? Like you're not going to flinch?
No, but it's not even like your choice to flinch or not. I'm just talking about physics. You know?
Yeah, no,
dude, it's very cartoony.
You're gonna fucking go fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm flinching and running and shitting my pants at the same time, right? So.
Right.
Realistically,
quick moment. Toy Review says, "Well, the Transformers were certainly better in the '80s."
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's in his name too. Vintage toys.
Yeah, come on. So, but anyway, here's the other thing that I don't like about that scene. Like, I just think this is just sloppy shit. Like Optimus Prime, he like has a cannon that grows out of his hand. Like it doesn't.
That's what they did in the other movies.
It doesn't look like engineered. No, but the idea that is supposed to be emulated. You're supposed to have the effect that there is this mechanism in the arm, like the whole idea of like the communicator popping up in the arm. The idea is that technology exists there, right? The idea of a transformer is that all this machinery is hidden in there and it's just moving around in unique ways. Now, we have the mass shifting that is unavoidable in the because of the toy designs that we have to explain away. But like just to have his arm there and then just the thing grows and shrinks, it's like that's more like Slimer from Ghostbusters than Transformers, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm more a fan of the gun that he had in the last movie.
Energon. It's different than an Energon axe growing out of his arm, because then the idea is that's made out of energy, right? So it could be a different shape. But if it's just this thing that just blows up like a bubble and then shrinks, I think you're losing the whole concept of it being robotic.
Yeah, in the last movie, that design had a separate handheld gun, and I'm like, I kind of wish they'd kept that.
Yeah, that's better.
It was like the claw from now Wolverine's hand.
Yeah,
sorry.
What'd you say, Charlie?
I like the claws coming out of Wolverine's hand. You look at the hand, so he's got these claws that are like so he can't bend his wrist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
where exactly are those bones? Because it's supposed to be his bones coming out, right?
Yeah.
But like when they're retracted, like how does your hand move when you got extra bones in there?
Very careful.
Yeah, seriously.
So, Caden says, "Who's your favorite Maximal?" Mine's Cheetor. My favorite's not in the movie. Rat Trap. They didn't put him in there, and that's the only thing I don't like. Yeah,
he's in there.
Let me put it this way. This is somebody else said this at one point. If it's a PG-13 movie, like most of these are, they're allowed one F-bomb. Rat Trap would absolutely be saying the one F-bomb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that is who he is as a character.
I think the only beast or Maximal that I liked was Tigertron.
Oh yeah, he's a frequent favorite too. Where's his guy? Here he is.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys. Rather than so Caden asks on YouTube, how do you feel about Wheeljack becoming a van? So we've been discussing that. Nobody here is a big fan of it. Nothing necessarily against VW vans, but why not at least pick a character that was somewhat similar? So Ironhide or Ratchet. I think most of us feel similarly about that. But here, let me phrase a similar question in a slightly different way so we don't keep saying the same thing about it. Let's talk about the Porsche and Mirage. And rather than just lamenting, like, okay, how come it's not Jazz? Let's ask the question of, like, why would they actually make that decision? Like, try to play, imagine the argument from the other side. Like, when they're sitting in that boardroom or when they're making that decision, say, yeah, okay, we're going to use this Porsche 911, but then we're not going to make it Jazz. Like, there has to be a reason why they decided, okay, we're going to make it Mirage instead. What is your theory as to why?
You know what? You see, hold on, Anthony. You see, my thing is that I'd be arguing against it because
that we've already established.
No, I know. No, hold on. I'm gonna answer it, but differently, so I'm not repeating. Okay. See, my whole thing is that because if this movie is supposed to be the Days of Future Past, right? Because that's what is rumored. Then my argument will be for Jazz, because I would be saying, since the original cast consisted of Jazz and number one, and all these movies are supposed to be in the Bay universe, but they're trying to do that reboot. That's my argument. I'd be like, well, Jazz was in the first movie, put them as Jazz because he's one of the original characters. That's my argument for Jazz. My argument against Jazz, I can't give you an answer. I don't know what the argument will be to put him as Mirage.
You just wasted time just repeating yourself again.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to give you an honest answer.
The question is to theorize. The question is to use your brain. Project.
I am trying to use my brain, and it's coming blank.
And imagine what the argument could have been for saying no. We are going to use the 911 Porsche, but we're not going to make it Jazz. Like, somebody had to make that argument. That decision was made. It wasn't the case that they didn't know Jazz was the Porsche 911.
I get it. I get what you're saying. For me personally, I'm drawing blanks. I don't know I don't know how they justify it. I wouldn't know how.
Something I'm thinking about, because I mentioned this earlier in the stream. I feel like they might have approached it from the other angle. They wanted Mirage in the movie, but Mirage can't be a Formula One because that doesn't really make any sense in a real world setting.
Right.
So they said, we're going to put Mirage in this movie with his holograms and his spy role and whatever, but what can we make him? What's available? And then they picked a Porsche. Maybe that's the deal they had. Maybe they knew they could use one.
Right.
So
let's go. No, so just to strengthen the argument more, how about this? We've already established that they're trying. They've got lots of considerations. They're balancing these things out. They want to get new audience. They want to trigger the nostalgia from the late 30 and the 40-year-olds. But they can't do the whole film for us, right? So just like you said, so they've decided they're going to use Mirage. They've decided that vehicle mode is not going to work. So what is a vehicle that these guys who we want to get their money, what vehicle are they going to like? Oh, these guys like Porsche 911s. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
But here's again, devil's advocate. Wasn't Mirage already in Transformers?
What do you mean? In one of the previous,
yes, he's been in the Transformers literally since the first episode.
and they kind of renamed them. They kind of renamed him as what? Dino. He was what's it called? The Ferrari.
Oh yeah.
But
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So in the Bay
Dark
universe,
of the Moon.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, at Dark of the Moon, there's a character named Dino that changes into a Porsche. He was supposed to be Mirage, but his name wound up different in the movie, and he's listed in the credits as Dino/Mirage.
Mirage.
Oh, interesting. And he was a Porsche then?
No, he was a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
We already discussed, like, a Ferrari would make more sense than the Porsche 911. Like, that's closer to the race, the drag race.
I guess tying in with what Mike just said, I mean, there could be the whole other angle that if this is supposed to be, almost like a time travel reboot in a sense, that could possibly mean that Jazz may come back in the future. Jazz wasn't wasn't a Porsche in the Bayverse. He was like one of those Pontiac vehicles.
So
Yeah,
listen,
that's true. He was a Pontiac Solstice.
Yeah.
Right. So it's maybe they can't use the name. It's like, well, we've gone back in the past. We're going to slowly go back in the future and bring Jazz back. So we can't make him a Porsche and then already have called this character, Mirage a Porsche as well.
Well, okay, so just to put it in simpler terms, you could just say, if they're being ambiguous about whether or not this is a reboot, but they're trying to make it as consistent with the Bayverse as possible, and so therefore not have an overlap of a character name with a different vehicle mode. But
Yeah,
I guess, but here's the other thing.
yeah, but that doesn't.
Hold on, D.
Because if we're saying that the reason why this Mirage, the reason why you can't have a new Jazz as a Porsche 911 is because you had Jazz as a Pontiac. That can't be the case if Mirage appeared previously as a Ferrari.
But I'm gonna throw another monkey wrench here because we had Wheeljack already.
How about you do a gorilla wrench just to keep?
Hold on, no, okay. So I'll throw in a gorilla wrench, okay, if you want. Or okay, here's the thing: Wheeljack was actually in the movie as well too.
This is true.
He was in what's it called?
Dark of the Moon.
Dark of the Moon as Q.
Right.
Yeah.
What was his vehicle form again?
I do not remember.
Mercedes.
I'll find it. Oh yeah, a Mercedes. Yeah.
He was a Mercedes.
Yeah, it's almost no reason to.
So if they were able to bring back Wheeljack, right? Why couldn't they do that with Jazz?
Yeah. I mean,
right. So I'm the guy. Like I would be in that off. Like going back to Dee's original question, I would have been that guy saying, "But wait a minute. If you're bringing back Wheeljack, right, and we're going back in the past, and Jazz was there at the first movie, like I don't get it. And we have Mirage already as a Ferrari, but we call him Dino.
Yeah.
Like what's stopping us not to use the same kind of formula again already?
I wonder if it's a traumatic thing.
That's the argument. Sorry.
Because they killed Jazz, and that's what a bunch of little kids remember. Them Megatron ripping apart Jazz. Would it be too traumatic for an audience to be like, "Oh, wait a minute"? Because
they killed Optimus Prime.
Oh, that's true.
They brought him back.
I don't get it, Charlie. Charlie, where were you going with that? You're going to say it's too traumatic for the kids to see him come back to life after he's been torn in half?
Yeah, because he's just going to die in the future. So they're like, oh, no.
Dissonance. What do you mean come back to life? What is this, Buddhism? Transformers being reincarnated?
Well, I don't know. It's just a thing. It's just called a soft reboot, and you got to keep that in mind. But the whole Wheeljack character, they were saying like he was like that Volkswagen or something. And I was like, wow, okay. So they was doing the history on all the Transformers before they even made the movie, because their producer is a G1 fan. And he was talking about stories on like the Transformers and what they want to put in the movie. And I said, shit, okay, that makes sense. So why not go with that? It's a soft reboot.
I will say, Wheeljack as a VW van could work for the character, because if he's like an inventor that builds things out of scraps, working out of the back of a VW van does sort of feel like a character beat.
Yeah.
But if you got to keep in mind, though, he's just Wheeljack is more than that, though. If you do his backstory, he's way more than what you think he is.
Oh, and how does Bumblebee drive up into Wheeljack's ass? Unless he's a van.
So I don't know, man. It's just some things you got to do your research on, and like these movies that they're coming out with, you got to take it as a what if.
Yeah, and Caden's saying we don't know if it's a reboot or a prequel. That's true. I haven't even got into that. Bumblebee doesn't really fit. It has a number of continuity things, and people are sort of like, is it a reboot? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I maybe this isn't going to be a Days of Future Past scenario because it's a different universe entirely.
You know what would be really cool? You know what would be really cool? Obviously, they're not going to do this, but this would be a neat callback. Is given that Bumblebee and Wheeljack are both in this, it would be a cool like homage if just in a totally different setting, they could be on Earth, they could be wherever, but if the two of those characters are the first Autobots we see, and then like
Yeah.
they're looking for energy, right? And they're having like a similar kind of discussion that they had in that very first episode of G1. That
yeah, popping out of a vent carrying supplies.
Yeah,
like some like
Or
fluorescent bulbs.
Or even if in the opening sequence they have a line where he's like, Prime said there'd be days like this, and you didn't believe him?
Yeah, that's the easiest.
Watch though, like so somehow we quickly add that to the movie.
That's some Days of Future Past stuff there.
Yeah. That would be cool if they did stuff like that.
Jess said to me from the corner she wants to note that she is very unhappy that Rat Trap is not in the movie.
Wait, there could be a possibility.
Yeah, I don't think he is, but like he could be. We don't know that he's not. He just hasn't shown up yet.
Well, that's the thing. They're just showing you clips. And the movie's not even done. Like they're still adding stuff as they go. Uh-oh, she says no. She says no. It's a wrap.
Oh, she's playing Fall Guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fall Guy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, what is the size of Rat Trap going to be if he is in the movie?
A giant rat.
Yeah, is he the same size as Cheetor?
Think about it. Hold on, wait. You think about it. Remember, the movie's kind of based in New York, so you're looking at a rat from New York. You know how big those things are?
How are you going to set a movie in New York and not have a rat transformer? That's like the most obvious thing.
This is true.
A rat with a Brooklyn accent.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, let's go through it. Oh dear.
She's big mad about it. She's like, he was one of the first four.
This is a Murder Prime moment.
Just over in the other room yelling about Rat Trap.
Yeah,
let's go through some of the comments. So Kaden says like how Blitzwing was Starscream in the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah, just swipe the design straight up.
He called Q
because it's a
a reference to James Bond.
Yeah, because he gives them all the gadgets.
Right. And even when he dies in Dark of the Moon, Bumblebee says goodbye, my old friend.
Oh, yeah.
A little Easter egg there to D's point.
Yeah. I will also say, like, it's a little bit ambiguous what they were trying to do with those guys, but there's an argument that they were no longer to be considered Wheeljack and Mirage since nobody calls them that in the movie, and like the spoken dialogue calls them by different names anyway.
Oh,
like, at what point do they stop being those characters if they don't particularly look like them and they're no longer called them?
But I just want to mention this part
I'm
here too.
confused, Anthony. What do you mean they're not being called those names?
Oh, in Dark of the Moon, Q and Dino are only ever called Q and Dino. Nobody calls them Mirage and Wheeljack. There were plans to call them that, but like they didn't. But in the final film, they're not called Mirage and Wheeljack. The spoken dialogue calls them Q and Dino.
Yeah, so they're not. So it's not like those guys were initially casted in the film, and then they didn't make it into the film.
Yeah, like even the studio series they did of Dino still just calls him Dino. Cause like there was some merchandise that called Q Wheeljack, but like in the final film again, like it's Q. Which it could be. The wiki still considers them the same characters, but there's an argument that the filmmakers might not consider them to be the same characters.
Well, it's in the credits.
Yeah, that is true. The credits call them Q/Wheeljack and Dino/Mirage.
Yeah. You know what I want to point out here? Look at this transformation.
Oh, I do like
in the
that,
Michael
where
Bay
he just
universe.
slides out of him.
Yeah, they didn't have those transformations like that in the Michael Bay universe films, right? So that's one thing I have to give another credit to this movie, that we actually see really nice transformations.
Mm-hmm.
Very quick, very smooth, and very accurate. Whereas in the Bay verse, it was like quick shots and very up close. So you didn't see like a full transformation.
So that means
what's that?
Megatron and the Predacon Megatron is going to be probably at the end of the movie then.
Oh, that would be great, but like they got to give he is a
There's
great villain. They
speculation.
got to give him space. They got to give him space. He needs his own movie. He's going to be in this, unless they're going to cameo him and
Because
save
you got to
him for
remember,
later.
yeah. So if this is still part of the Bay universe right now, Megatron is still on ice.
Oh no, they're talking about the suave, sophisticated schemer that was Beast Wars Megatron, who took his name from the original.
No, Anthony, I get that, but what I'm saying, like, because this is in the past, quote unquote, if that's the case, Megatron's on ice still,
But
and
you can't go off of that anymore. You cannot go off of that. This is a soft
hold
reboot.
on, Cap. Hold on. If that's the case, then it is actually quite nice if they bring in the Megatron, what's called Predacon Megatron, in a sense. So what that does, it kind of leads up to the original Megatron maybe coming in after, maybe like in the second or third movie. You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
I also think it's like you dealt with the, you know, like he could come out with a sign saying, yeah, you dealt with the wannabe, now you're dealing with the OG. Right?
Damn. Or you can go off the Galvatron, the time traveling Galvatron. You can go off of that too, because you got Scourge. You got the Herald.
I almost feel like yeah, there you go. I almost feel like we sort of got a preview of this. Well, I have skin on mine.
Biting your neck.
Wow.
Grimlock wins.
There's a gun in my mouth.
Grimlock City Jazz must
I got two heads.
Porsche.
Hey, 2 heads are better than one.
Oh my gosh, that's a good counterpoint.
I'm just saying 2 heads are better than one.
Damn kid.
Is that Hungar?
Yeah. No, that's what's the name? Double Cross.
That's
Yep.
it.
With his
well, I forget to pull out some Transformers. This one here, you know, I never understood this one here.
Okay,
but every time I touch this, you always light up.
Stop playing with your
dear.
very
I'm just saying, like how fast Mike got the scene back.
It's a very delicate.
I'm just saying. Every time I touch this, he gotta like he just.
His eyes light up. Is that what you were saying?
His eyes light up. Or his shot. I don't know. One or the other.
Caden says they called him that in the video game and toy line. Yeah, representing Mirage and Wheeljack. Yeah, and that's why there's an argument one way or the other.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff is finalized before the movie itself comes out too.
All right, I got a question for you guys.
Answer.
Shoot.
Name all the Transformers that have 2 heads in a single alt mode.
I just showed you one.
Hunger, Center Twin, and Twinferno. I mean, Double Cross. He's called Twinferno sometimes because of copyright. So that's at least 3 of them.
Hungar, Center Twin, and Twinferno. But who did Orlati just hold up?
He had Double Cross. That same character. They just sometimes change his name.
All right. Any others?
Well, Robots in Disguise, Bruticus was a 3-headed Cerberus, so...
Did I say 2 heads or did I say more than 1 head?
Scourge.
Oh, yeah, Cybertron Scourge.
Yep.
He was a dragon with 3 heads. Again, we're talking more than 2.
Okay, we can do more than 2. And I said in a single alt mode, but maybe I could, if I modified it to just say in their alt mode, then Skylinks might qualify, depending.
Depending. I don't think anybody...
How you want to define it.
I don't really think anybody from Beast Wars had 2 heads, because they were all aiming for semi-realistic animals, and there's no animals in nature that have 2 heads.
Quintessons do not count.
Except for when they start doing dragons.
Quintessons do not count.
Beast Wars Quick Strike. He was a scorpion whose stinger had a cobra on the end of it.
Yep, I have that figure.
Okay.
Just to prove Anthony's point, yeah, the majority of these ones they all had like single heads. So here,
Ooh.
and this is actually Skylinks too. Eh?
Yeah, it's
What?
the version from the Predacons Rising movie.
Predacon. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says
Okay.
Sky Stalker. Why are you calling them Sky Links?
Well, technically they were calling them Skylink in Transformer Prime.
Yeah, on the show he was called Skylinks.
That's cool. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
Did he have any other connection with Skylinks? Any similarity of personality or anything? Or
No, just
it was a name
just the
slap.
colors.
Yeah.
And here's another one too. Hold on.
And then Megatron touched those 6 features. He had a dragon head too.
Oh yeah, Robots in Disguise Megatron. He changed into a 2-headed dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the other dragon that was in Beast. It's called Beast Hunter or Transformer Prime.
It's Ripclaw. I don't know what was on the show. Dark Steel was the other one that actually made it on the show.
I got Dark Scale and the other guy, the big ones. I have those too.
I have those. The Predaking, and I have those other ones. There's actually a little bit more as well. I'm surprised you didn't collect those, Anthony. Beast Hunters, Beast Wars. Yeah.
Transformers Prime came out at a time where I wasn't quite collecting as heavily as I am today. So I have a few things, but I didn't really get any of the Predacons.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, I cheated for a second and checked my phone, and I'm like, there is literally one of the drones from Age of Extinction is technically called Two Head.
Oh,
because
that's right.
he has 2 heads.
He had what's called shockwave heads.
Yeah, literally just Shockwave with 2 heads.
Yeah, Strife. The 2-headed pterodactyl.
Oh yeah, Strafe the Dinobot.
Okay, so how many are we at now?
I don't know. I wasn't keeping count.
Okay, I got a question here. I'm a little confused because when I was looking at the toy, and I was looking at even in the video as well too in the trailer, is Air-Razor a female or a male bot?
She's a female.
Air-Razor's a lady.
I'm
She's
talking
voiced
about
by Michelle Yeoh in
the
this movie.
Sorry?
Yeah, she's voiced by Michelle Yeoh in the movie. So.
Okay, I wasn't sure because when they revealed the figure, I was looking at the figure. It looked more masculine than feminine. So I got a little confused.
The character's a lady, and basically always has been.
Now, Slipstream is the questionable one. It's a female or it's a guy, and it's confusing as shit.
Depending on the universe.
Well, yeah, it's 2 versions of Slipstream. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's multiple versions of most of them.
Caden on
guys, I gotta
YouTube.
Go.
Yep.
Go ahead, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, Bumblebee losing his voice box is getting old.
Yeah,
Does he lose his voice? He doesn't lose his voice again in this film, does he?
Does he?
He didn't get it back after Bumblebee. He lost it in Bumblebee, and this is a sequel to that, so he still doesn't have it.
Oh my gosh!
Let's hope he does.
Yeah, Cyberverse, the cartoon, its first season, Bumblebee didn't have his voice like the movies, and then the second season he just had it, and they were like, yeah, we fixed it, whatever, he can talk now. So I'm kind of hoping they pick up on that.
Yeah.
And Prime, he got his voice back.
Remember, he lost his voice. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Near the end of the season, at the season finale there, right? Well, boys, I gotta go because it's 10:39.
Oh no!
And my kids are still running around. They're supposed to be in.
Yeah, it is getting
glad
late.
I was able to jump on. So in order to talk about it, so my whole thing is this: people.
Who wins, Air-Razor versus Hellraiser?
I'm saying to our past and present and future, what's it called, viewers, go and watch it. Try not to dig too much into it. Just go and have an open mind and just enjoy this movie because so far what we've seen, it looks pretty damn good. So I right now, the trailer wise, I give it a thumbs up. Look at cheaters
is
trying
very
to form
refreshing.
Friday. I like that. I like this part.
I'm
and
like,
that's where
I'm
okay, these
I'm
were all
waiting for the
zombies
figures
that are
to
supposed to be
drop,
coming
bro.
out. All right, I gotta go because now you guys are keeping me here again with the trailer.
All right, sir.
It's been a pleasure.
Have a good night.
All right. Yeah, take it easy, man. I'm still here, but like I said, just drop the damn figures. That's all I want. Drop the figures.
Yeah, I want to see some of the like Air Razor's design looks like it'll make a good figure. I want to see how they handle.
Kevin's going to sleep on the podcast, dreaming about the figures coming out.
You damn
What?
Skippy. And then give us that RC and a masterpiece. That'd be fucking awesome.
I don't know, man. Another $160 for another RC.
Man, I don't mind, bro. Like I just said, to me, it just doesn't make a difference. It's just a transformer that I want in my collection.
I want to see what they
Nightbird
do.
on Amazon has dropped. Like it's like $80 or something. I seen the other day. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The
How much is
official
still there?
Masterpiece?
What's that?
Are you
Yeah,
saying
the
the official masterpiece?
Yep.
Oh, that's worth it for $80 because that's a good mold. Do you have it?
Because I was like, son of a bitch. I paid like $120, $130 for that thing.
Yeah. And that's your second time buying the mold, I assume. You got the RC as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I got the other one.
Yeah, I never got that, but I didn't get the Nightbird. I did pay $150 for that. I waited till the RC went on sale. I think I paid $140 or $150. But she came out at $160 US. But yeah, if that's $80, the Nightbird, I'll order it.
Caden's dropping a difficult question. What's your favorite Transformers movie? Is what he says. I'm like, I mean, I could tell you everything that happened in the '86 one, and Hot Rod's my favorite character because of it. I'd probably go with that by default. Bumblebee's pretty close.
Well, Orlotti would say number one is number one.
So it's $97 right now on Amazon.
That's not bad.
See, I want to see what the Rise of the Beast version of her that's going to be there looks like, because if it's a good enough looking design, that can just fit on my like mainline shelf as like my regular Nightbird, you know, to go with the Generation 1 guys.
Let me see if they got it on sale on Amazon. It might be even cheaper on Show Z, and then we'll take a look.
So you can also get it for $89.99 and pick it up between December 16th through the 19th.
Oh, pre-Christmas.
On Amazon?
Yeah.
It's American Amazon, though, so...
What's with the two different prices?
It's different sellers.
Scalper.
Yeah.
Scalper.
It's a good figure.
Charlie, are you in on the X-Transbots Ultra Magnus?
I'm kind of on the fence about that one because I'm kind of wanting the Fan Toys one, but I've been seeing reviews and like there's a lot of panel forming on that X-Transbot
Transformation
one.
looks horrible. The panel forming, from the review I just watched, both modes look really nice. I'm not a big fan of the hypertune accuracy, but it does look good in robot mode. And the alt mode looks great no matter what, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a Toon fan or Real World fan, it seems to match both. But there's QC issues. I heard that there's stress marks in certain places, and there's a problem with one of the shoulders. It's like if you turn it too much, the screw comes off and the thing falls apart. So
I've seen somebody re-drilled the hole, the washer. Wow.
Fall Guys could be an intense game.
Just a sec. Sorry, Charlie, you were saying. Yeah, so I definitely think I'm holding out for the Fans Toys one. But he does look clean. Like if you really do like that really clean cartoon look, then I think it'll be hard to beat the X-Transbots one. And also he's going to be slimmer, lighter than the Fans Toys one. You know, and probably better articulation than the Fans Toys one. But all that said, For me, Ultra Magnus is armor, and anything else is just not really Ultra Magnus. And when he turns into that cab, like that white cab, like seeing that white cab and then knowing that it doesn't turn into an Optimus Prime, like to me, that's a drawback.
Yeah. Because I mean, you definitely get like if you get 2 toys in one with fan toys or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and I can't wait to see like the fan toys Optimus.
Yeah.
I just got this one the other day.
Oh, nice.
That little bit of trivia Caden saying is true.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Let's put his thing up first.
Sorry. Yeah, bring it up again.
Yeah, is that Fans Toys Mirage?
Yep.
Oh, you should have been. We were talking about Mirage the whole time. Here we go. Fans Toys Mirage. Now, do you have the Ocular Max Mirage?
Yes, I do.
So you want to show us side by side and tell us which one you like better and why?
I would have to unbury it. I do have the TE.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you got all 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so fill you guys in. Anybody doesn't know. So there's basically 3 Masterpiece Mirage options. You have the Transform Element. You have the latest one, which is Fans Toys. That's what you're seeing here. And there is an Ocular Max version, which I'm not sure if Charlie's able to pull up. But
that one's TE.
Between these two, what are your pros and cons having them in hand?
I really like the Fans toys. I mean, to me, it looks like the cartoon, if that's what you're after. The TE in the face and head never look like the cartoon, but it's pretty articulated and it's cheap. I mean, it's like $50-$60, I think, right now.
Right.
From what
Does
I've been seeing.
does that better articulation than the Fans Toys?
Yeah, it's got a lot of good articulation. A lot of, like, reviewers have shown like how the TE's got like it can bend over and the knees bend more and everything. And I haven't went through like the comparison.
That's really been disappointing me about Fans Toys. In recent, actually throughout their history, they sometimes slack on the articulation. Going for the screen accuracy and going for the high quality feel in the hand, which is what we love about Fans Toys. But I'm not happy when articulation is sacrificed for either a clean sculpt or for screen accuracy.
All right. Yeah, I agree. Let's see what all.
But I didn't go with either of those because I like real world accuracy, and I think the Ocular Max version, the Ocular Max Mirage, beats both of those two in terms of real world accuracy, if not screen accuracy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it definitely, like, I think the Ocular Max has more character than the TE.
Yeah.
Ocular Max.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
G2 colors, but yeah.
Yeah.
Does have the problem of this thing not wanting to stay up. But that's
it's
better.
just a more detailed, more interesting sculpt to me.
It's got the toy style head too, so
I like that as well. You know where that bot would be well displayed in is in a collection of the G2 Stunticons, the X-Trans bot Stunticons. He would just fit right in.
Yeah. Just that whole subset of canceled Generation 2 concepts.
And is that what that was?
This
that
deco too.
That never came out?
Yeah. They were going to release G1 Mirage in these colors in G2. Got canceled. So Ocular Max did this as a TFCon exclusive.
Hey, okay. I'd like you to hold that guy up along with the other most ugly Transformer you have, which is that Azalea. You have the Ocular Max Azalea, and you have both of them in vomit colors. Let's see them together.
I would object to calling that. Azalea Protoform is colored like a sunset.
Yeah.
And Mirage
Sunset
is colored like
vomit,
tasty watermelon.
Tomato, sunset vomit. But look at those two together. Like they're literally dressed up for Halloween. They may as well be,
again, these are
you're just missing like just bathe them in a little bit of ectoplasm.
See, I like these better than the regular ones because they're more interesting. I like weird, bizarre repaints like these.
Yeah, me too. I just think that they should have, like, you know, the ooze from Masters of the Universe. Remember the ooze playset?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh
Yeah.
my god! Oh my god!
You just got to put a
Like
little
the-
ooze over top of these guys. Like,
I can't figure out the hoverboard one.
Having some trouble with Fall Guys.
No bad.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, they made a Masterpiece RC. I don't think they're gonna do the Masterpiece RC in canceled prototype colors like this. So
no, and that's a great mold.
Yeah.
It's a well reviewed mold.
Yeah. The thing Caden's saying there is true. During Beast Wars, Hasbro didn't know what gender Airbrazor would have until it was settled on her being a female because the writers wanted another female presence on the show. They had Black Arachne already, and they were like, "Can you give us another?" And they're like, "All right, we'll take this figure we already designed and make sure that the character is female in the package, so you can put her on the show." Yeah. Who's your favorite Transformers character in general? I have a few favorites, but I tend to default to Hot Rod if I got to pick one. That's why I like this pink version very so much. the retro collection one they just did.
Charlie, what about you? Who's your favorite Transformer?
Oh,
I always
boy.
go back to
boy.
Prime.
It's the Sonic, Anthony. It's the Sonic one again.
Oh, good lord!
You're not allowed to choose Optimus Prime, Charlie. Obviously.
I like Ironhide because he was always like
There you go.
rough and
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good choice. We've all said our favorites a bunch of times. I don't know if Calvin has.
Oh, boy.
Wait, hold on. Don't say it. Everybody has to guess Calvin's favorite Transformer.
Let's see.
Deathsaurus. I say Deathsaurus. And Calvin, you're gonna like whoever comes closest. So even if none of us get your favorite character, whoever gets whichever is your favorite of the four, you know, you have to give us a prize. Go ahead, Spin. What's your guess?
I'm thinking, before the Japanese series was known, I would guess his would have been Thundercracker.
Nice choice. I like Thundercracker.
See, I was gonna go with.
Say Hot Rod. You can't just say because it's your favorite character. You're going to say it's his favorite character.
Oh, I was going to say Hot Rod. I just had a Hot Rod independently of my statement. I was going to go with Skywarp because a lot of people like Skywarp, so that's a random choice. But
and if you, I don't know if you noticed this, but he is black.
Black and purple. He's the prototype Decepticon color scheme.
And he's very modest.
I was talking about Calvin, Anthony. Jesus fucking Christ.
Jeez.
If only Calvin was wearing a purple t-shirt, that would have been perfect.
But that's okay.
It's all good. Okay, these are good guesses. Skywarp, Deathsaurus, Thundercracker. Calvin, people have a very dark impression of you.
Hey, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Okay. But you're missing one more character, though.
Yeah, well, Charlie has to give a guess. Charlie, who is Calvin's favorite Transformer? Inquiring minds want to know.
I'd say Jazz.
Oh, interesting. Now, if we were talking about somebody else on this podcast, he would have won. Boom. Maybe Charlie can't tell the difference between the black guys now.
Damn.
I'm just playing. Charlie, you know I'm just playing. All right, Calvin, who gets the point?
Well, all y'all are fired. So that means that you missed one of my other favorite, which is Dinobot.
Beast Wars Dinobot?
Yeah, the Beast Wars Dinobot. That's my boy.
Okay. But of the guys you said, who's your favorite?
Out of my favorite, I'm going to say Thundercracker.
Okay, Spin gets the point.
Yep.
Caden is saying, have you all watched the Unicron trilogy? I watched all of Armada back in the day, and then I watched 3 episodes of Energon, and it was so bad that I quit Transformers until 2007.
Damn.
I did not watch the Unicron trilogy, and given what Anthony said, I don't think I'm going to. And no, I do not like Bumblebee. I didn't like the original G1 toy. I didn't like the original G1 character. I never wanted him to. Anytime he was the central focus of the show, I'm like, get this little punk motherfucker out of here. We here for the real warriors.
Nope, Bumblebee is the shit. When he turned to Goldbug, he was one of the characters that, I said, oh shit, Goldbug was the shit, bro.
See, I liked him as Goldbug was nice.
To get his upgrade.
Yes, yeah, I liked him as Goldbug.
I like Bumblebee. He's not my favorite, but he's all right. He's all right in my books. He was all right in Marvel. I liked his solo movie. It's one of my favorites. Maybe he was overexposed for a while, and that bit him in the ass. But right. if you ignore that, I think he's okay.
No, that's exactly it, because there was never this huge focus on Bumblebee, so he was just another character alongside all the other characters.
Yeah. He was.
Well, he's like the little favorites.
I think he got disproportionate focus in G1 because of his relationship with Spike.
Yeah.
He just sucks up to the humans and gets all the camera time.
Constantly having to be saved.
Yeah, but yeah, he's fine. I like him well enough. He's had a good run of figures recently too, which helps.
Beast Wars.
But you know what though? I'm gonna Oh, the Picture Bobcat. Oh shit.
Does not want to be there.
It's just like, no.
Yeah. She's a little more camera shy than Pepperoni.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like, remember, I have a second cat that you never see because he is too large and lazy to hop up on my shoulders.
I don't believe that. I think you have a Canadian lynx over there. You think you're slick.
She's a wild animal for sure.
He's doing the best he can.
Yeah, Jess wants to assert that Snook is 15 years old and doing the best he can. So,
ooh, 15. That's a that's
bro. That's getting up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's spry for his age, but he's not the type to jump up on my shoulder and get up on stream.
Yeah.
He's like, you gotta come to me.
Are cat ears the same as dog ears?
They both hear with them.
Yeah, I think it's a similar.
I didn't say years. I said years.
Oh, years. I heard ears. I was like, what?
In all your years, all you heard was ears.
I'm trying to figure out. So in cat years, 15 years would be equivalent to. So 7. That's dog year 7. Okay. So shit. So probably close to 50s or 60s.
Oh motherfucker.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
No, way older. Way older.
Older.
15 times 7? Come on, dude.
No, because
think about it, just if you round the numbers and say 7 and
that's
10.
dog years. That's not cat years.
Well, what is cat years? Is it 8
how many years for cat years?
It's less. I think it's less than 7, bro. 5 or it's in between 5 or 6. I don't know, but it's in between those two numbers. Because dog years is 7.
Yeah. Dog years are 7.
So that's still up there.
Right, but cat years are less because cats live longer than dogs. Is that true?
I mean, I think it depends on the breed in both cases.
Yeah. But I think a general domestic cat versus most, at least the large dog breeds, right? They don't live as long.
Like the Great Dane and all them dogs, Saint Bernard, they bodies break down faster.
Yeah.
Well, it is 11 o'clock.
And
we're talking about cats.
Dog breeds, so I think it's time to go to bed.
Yeah. So, before we end the stream, what do we have?
It's a
There's
Mirage.
Psycho Max.
That's what
And there's
Mirage is supposed to look like. Letting you motherfuckers know, making this into this film. Like,
as somebody that's
Murder
owned the
Prime,
watermelon version for a long time, it's interesting seeing the mold there in like normal colors and recognizing all the little specific things from it.
But let me say this too on the topic before we go. The thing that Bobby Skullface did a sit down Saturday yesterday. He did his trailer reaction, and one of the things he complained about, which I totally agree, is that look, it's one thing to change the alt mode. Maybe they had their reasons to make Mirage the Porsche 911. That's fine, but how come in the robot mode there's no visual cues that signal the iconic figure, like the character that we know as Mirage, right? They could have.
This is a valid criticism.
They could have made the robot mode look in some way like the G1 character, in the same way as they did with Optimus Prime and the rest of the characters in this film. So why didn't they do that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll be real interested to see what Wheeljack winds up looking like, just to see if he's like accurate like the others or inaccurate like Mirage.
Right.
And why are you showing a bug while you're saying this?
Oh, our commenter there asked if anybody has any love for Waspinator, so I pulled my Kingdom one out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Waspinator looks great. What I don't think looks great is the fact that the great looking Porsche 911 in this film turns into a robot that looks a little bit more like that Waspinator than it does like the Mirage that Charlie was just showing.
There we go.
Yeah. Take a look. Freeze frame it. Why don't you freeze frame the Mirage there on the trailer in robot mode, and then we'll see which one of these two figures does he look more like.
No. Oh, you lucky baby.
There we go. I think it looks like Waspinator. Look at the shape of the chest.
Damn.
Look at that. Look at those titties.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
Just color them green, and there you go.
Yep, that's race car Waspinator.
Look at those legs. Those don't look like Transformers legs. Look at that. That looks like amputee legs.
It's kind of like Nightbird in a way.
You know, those legs almost look like the Ed 209.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, dude, Mirage has got the worst robot design in this film. What are you doing? Feel like Mirage is going to get. Caden on YouTube says, "Feel like Mirage is going to get the attention of this film." Yeah. I mean, that's definitely the impression we get. Is he's taking the Bumblebee role, as Anthony mentioned earlier in the live stream. Mm-hmm. But the weird thing is that from my, tell me if you guys agree or disagree. Like, I think this robot mode looks the least interesting. Certainly has the least G1 cues than all the other robots that we've seen in this film. Am I wrong about that?
I agree. Especially when you look at like the redesigned RC and the reuse of Bumblebee and Optimus, who were already fairly recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so weird that they made him look like Ed 209. Meets Waspinator. Neither of which look anything like a boy.
Not at all. Celebrating a victory.
Are there reviews to promote?
Oh, why, yes. First of all, this lovely pink repaint of Hot Rod that got G1 Hot Rod, this screen-accurate version that's part of the new retro collection, which I photographed and wrote up in record time after I got it near the start of this week, because I was like, this is the best thing. I got to talk about this.
Awesome.
Good G1 figure, screen-accurate colors. This is a really good idea. They're doing a Starscream. I hope they do a bunch of people like this. Yeah, and then at the end of the week, I get into my monthly. Speaking of 80s versus 90s, I get into my one non-bot thing, which is Marvel's take on the Spider-Man from the 90s animated series. They did a cel-shaded figure of him. So, Tune Accuracy is the name of the game this week. One decade and the other. So you can read about these both coming up on Children of Primus' news and review section. I'm there every week, folks.
Nice.
Taking photos and writing about robots. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right, I'm done. There it is. There it is.
That sounds like a wrap.
No, you stupid whore ass bitch.
Sorry.
Oh,
Jess
dear.
is having a heated gamer moment.
Okay.
I was in the final fucking random. My dumbass
Rage
jumped
moment.
off the side like a fucking
See, we sign off once this trailer is done this loop.
Oh yeah, I cannot stress enough how great it was seeing this on like unexpectedly just get released out of the blue at the start of the day.
Like this did catch everyone off guard.
Yeah, and they're just like, look, there's your giant gorilla.
Oh,
Your giant gorilla with dialogue.
Last question from Caden again before we end.
How do you feel about Hot Rod in the Last Night? It is a cool design. I am going to get the Studio Series one, but I was like, it's not very Hot Roddy. Doesn't look like the character. Doesn't sound like the character. The time gun that stops time works as a homage to Bob Budiansky's Marvel G1 comics, where characters were always talking about their powers and abilities multiple times. That's about, in isolation, it's an alright design. So I'm like, I'm lukewarm as a fan of the character.
We should have named it Mirage.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That is it, everyone. So thank you for everyone that's tuned in and for everyone that joined in, and thank you to all the comments and all the love that's out there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of comments. We love responding to people's things that they got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to come back next week and pepper us with an endless stream of questions, I will answer every single one. It's Peppy in the back.
Wow. All right. Well, that's it, and a good evening to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You too, and have a great week.
Right,
oh yeah.
Yeah.